Hey folks, Automatic here for Automatic Games. Welcome to another Battlestar Galactica Deadlock stream. I do hope this stream finds you well. I'm doing good. Just here in the CIC of our headquarters. As usual, staring at the board. Trying to figure out what comes next. Well, I guess I kind of know what comes next. Tonight's going to focus mostly, I guess, on Separatists. Not by my own choosing, but hey, the Separatists get a say in that too. Make sure all systems are go. I think they are. Excellent. Hey, Odd Noble, how you doing? Are you ready for spaceships killing other spaceships in outer space? How is Odd, by the way? So yeah, we're going to focus, I guess, in Helios Gamma is where the trouble's going to be this evening. We have a situation developing at Sagittarion Colony. And for those that do not know, the Sagittarion government is, they're one of the toughest nuts to crack in terms of our allies. They've even gotten into a bit of a shooting war with us over humanitarian relief for their people. Certainly Cylons are the threat, right? But, you know, the Sagittarians can't leave it alone. They don't want our federal forces, what's the word? They basically don't want us tampering with events that take place on their colony. Some of them are so adamant about that yeah, they've taken the Sagittarian Defense Force and they've used it against our forces. Interestingly enough, the colonial fleet that we have there, technically Fleet 72, but also known as Fleet Group Sagittarion, it's comprised of people from Sagittarion. So it's almost a bit of a civil war happening there. That said, let's take a closer look at Fleet Group Sagittarion. First, of course, their officer, Commander Murray. He holds a lot of clout in our fleet. His particular fleet, that is to say Fleet Group Sagittarion, is one of the most potent fleets in our force. It's seen a ton of action. Just by nature of, we'll head over to this colony over here, Pycon. This is where fleet headquarters was. And so, by design, I had been attempting to make that fleet the strongest, Fleet Group Pycon. But what happens, of course, is, you know, a fleet starts seeing a lot of action, not by any whim of mine, and they start to gain, you know, commendations, clout. They get better ships, and that's absolutely been the case with Fleet Group Sagittarion. They have simply emerged as our, I believe, second strongest fleet. And so hopefully that pays off tonight, but I do believe that the mission that they're going to have us go on will be trying. You can probably tell, those that are familiar, that each fleet group is commanded by a battle star. A battle star is I don't even want to say multi-purpose, an all-purpose ship. It's a carrier, it's a battleship, it's all that in one. And virtually, well, all of the colonies except for 3 of them have a battle star that they're boasting at this point. I just kind of focused on the 3 that do not. Essentially, I'm waiting for the fleet commanders of those fleets. Well, rather, I don't want to say commanders. The person in charge of those fleets to reach the rank of commander. I won't give a colonel a battle star. I just don't trust it. I don't trust that colonel will survive, or that they'll keep their damn battle star alive. Hey, Plaz, how you doing this evening? Good to see you. Take them out. I will certainly try. That's the intent, anyways. So aside from dealing with our issues at Sagittarius, in fact, let's go ahead and get to the briefing of that. This one's called Blockade, and here we go.
Kane was livid in the last message she left for us.
Okay.
I'll save you the pain of sitting through it yourself. This exchange from one of her quorum hearings will better explain our position.
Colonial fleet's continued breaches on the Sagittarian border cannot be left unchallenged. We agreed to an alliance of federal representation, but not at the expense of our individual sovereignties.
Sashenka, you and I both know that no one else would dilute their own fleet for a colony that would not defend itself. I agree that the Border Patrol must be reinstated, but until someone else volunteers, that responsibility must fall to Colonial Fleet.
Agreed.
They broke the embargo to begin with. Colonial Fleet is blundering their way through their own war. They are categorically unfit to police domestic legislation.
Well, I don't think we're trying to do that.
It is the only option available for now. Give the Quorum time to find another solution. In the meantime, Admiral Kane's team can prove the integrity of Colonial Fleet to us all.
Alright, let's see. The Sagittarian lower house continues to enforce the planetary trade and military embargo. The ban has been active since the non-violent coup of the Senate cabinet. Political splinter groups have attempted to negotiate terms with the lower house, including the Nationalistic Democratic Union, and radical globalists aligned with the Quorum. Now, I understand, so once this is over, if done successfully, we're going to unlock a new class of Battlestar, and so that's important. However, that class of Battlestar is the Minerva class Battlestar, which is, I guess I'd almost describe it as a light Battlestar, but in truth, that's what these are. These are Artemis classes. They're very much the 1978 Battlestar Galactica ship, and they're light. We won't start getting into heavy Battlestars until we introduce the Jupiter class. That said, the Minerva class has its benefits. It's got its purposes. So I am anxious to get a new Battlestar in the game. I think with no further ado, we'll go ahead and deal with the situation there. I'm not really sure what the situation is. I wasn't able to glean it from that briefing. I just know that Fleet Group Sagittarian is helping to protect the embargo and the border of Sagittarian, and they are loyal. So we'll see what develops there. In the meantime, there are multiple fleets located at Sagittarian. What, are we under attack there? Oh, okay, they want to see which fleet wants to undertake this mission. Well, Fleet Group Sagittarian, under Commander Murray, I believe. Alright. And Fleet Group Sagittarian is headed by our first Battlestar that we introduced was the Conquistador. So it is the flagship of this fleet, and we expect great things from it. I know earlier, well, just minutes ago, there's Rob right there. Permission to come aboard, sir. Granted. How are you, Rob? Good to see you. But Rob right there described Battlestar as relatively gritty when compared to other sci-fi counterparts. Growing up, I was way into Star Wars. I didn't have time for Battlestar Galactica, because even as a child, My brother disagrees with me. He says, no, you liked Battlestar Galactica as a kid. I don't remember that. I remember thinking it was kind of weird. I thought, I don't know. There were just certain aspects of it that were way too campy for my liking. I know, right? But I like Star Wars. And meanwhile, Star Trek, that was something my brother was always into. I could get down with some Star Trek. Whatever, But to me, the ships were always too damn clean. Everything was too utopian for my liking. Now, Star Wars could be a little more gritty, obviously, than Star Trek. Then when Ronald D. Moore rebooted Battlestar Galactica, what was it, 2002 or so? I had no desire to watch it, and for the life of me, I can't remember who talked me into checking out the first episode. But I did, and I did early enough that I was able to catch it within a week of its airing. So there are no Cylons on the board, no contacts. That's good, I guess. There's the planet Sagittarion. We'll set the fleet up. I must not have used this fleet for a while. Rob, you were right that the Artemis Battlestar has its dorsal guns. That's its most potent armament. And so we do want it to fly low. I had speculated that maybe it had guns on its belly that were comparable to those up top, but that's not the case. It's got guns on its belly, but I think it's only got 2 of them. We'll have everything else follow somewhat behind. I want to space these correctly so that they're not firing missiles into each other, etc. So I think this is okay. And of course, once we begin, once they complete their jump, we'll be able to move them a little bit more. We're going to put light carriers in the rear. I say light carriers, but they can truly only carry 1 fighter squadron. So they're barely even that. They are good gunships, though. Got a nice range. This is a support ship. We'll have it fly high over the carriers. And finally, our Corvette. Oh, this poor Corvette. He's playing with the big boys, but it is the Lancer. That is the first ship that saw action in this whole campaign. So it's got a very seasoned crew, a veteran crew. I think that will do it. I don't see... Okay, requires the use of a Raptor squadron. Yeah, it's fine. The Tethys has that squadron. So to quickly go through it, we have the flagship, which is the Conquistador, commanded by Commander Murray. Then we have... The what? The Astraeus? The Astraeus, which is it's a missile boat. It's a cruiser class. Then we have 2 frigates. The frigates aren't new, but they can stand the fight. They boast squadron hangar and missiles. Then we come down to the light carriers. Berserk carriers, that's the class. That's the Anubis and the Bastet. They've just got guns and a fighter hangar. The Jarl is our support ship. And finally, the Lancer, the aforementioned Corvette, smallest of this fleet. But what I've noticed is sometimes those small ships can kind of fly under the radar, like the enemies don't target them because they think they're the ship of least consequence. Anyways, first officer, you can begin your jump. I will deal with communications. Raptor 69 reporting for duty, command. You want me on a Battlestar or a fat Battlestar today? Big girls need the pilot love too. There ain't no joke there, that's the truth. Oh, we didn't jump in. Okay, I guess we were just already here. Hey, Sandy, how you doing? Good to see you. Dijkstra, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. The guy who created ILM was the main special effects guy on the original Battlestar. Really? I didn't know that. Fire the belly busters. The ventral guns are mostly intended to fire forward. It's the dorsal turrets that are intended for broadside use in conjunction with the smaller guns on the sides. And it does boast a lot of smaller guns on the sides. I have noticed that. You know, one of the aspects I like about this is, as you'll see, so we're going to go to the Conquistador here. I'm going to go to turrets. And let's go to, no, not front. Let's go to top. See how they all light up? That's kind of handy. So it's got 8. They call them artillery. Now the accuracy sucks, but if you get hit by it, it hurts. It hurts. Whereas down below, and I wish they told you the count. They really don't. We've got 2 heavy turrets. Well, what's funny is just 2 of those heavy turrets equals about half the strength of all the guns we have aligned on top there. Then on the port side and starboard, you see all those light up. Now, that said, those are point defense turrets. They're just not nearly as strong. But the range and the accuracy are really something. Anyways, I like how it highlights those. So now, knowing that the Battlestar kind of wants to be low, we'll have him dive a little bit. Plus, that'll give more clearance for ordnance. I want to do the same thing.
Yes, sir.
I think. Let me finish, lady. Oh, I want to do the same thing with the frigates, but we'll kind of stagger them. That said, we will have the Estrellas climb just a tad. And, yeah, the Corvette will climb as well. Everything else can do as it's doing, except let's launch Raptors. Hell, let's wait a turn. Let's wait a turn, see what happens, then we'll launch Raptors. We'll have them fly ahead and scout this. This is just a patrol, so there's essentially our waypoints. We'll have the Raptor scout ahead, just in case of ambush. So long as the Jarl isn't commanded by Balgruuf, the guy can't make a decision to wipe or rinse. It's sad. I don't know who Balgruuf is. Is that a Battlestar character? Or unless you mean Baltar. No, you don't mean Baltar. I'm what you might call a fanatic or diligent officer in training, says Rob. Samuel says, I was going to come say hi, but I can't stay because I got school. Well, hey, man, I can understand that. I appreciate you popping in anyway, Samuel, and I hope you're well. If you got time, tell us how you're doing. Otherwise, just do well. Just do well. So we want to go ahead and launch Raptors. What ship was carrying Raptors again? Oh, that's right, the Tethys.
Launching Raptors.
Yeah, launch those puppies, have them fly ahead. And I know they're not puppies.
Understood.
You know what else? The Lancer. Let's start adding plating to the Lancer. Because it's going to fly us ahead as well.
Launching
Start
drones.
with the left and just work our way around that ship. Actually, I should have boosted the bottom of it, but oh, the Jarl of Whiterun. Yeah, okay, it's been a while. What's this?
Dratus contact. Hostile IFFs have jumped near the fleet's patrol route, Commander.
Colonial fleet, of all the empty patches of space.
Hi,
Feels like no
Thune.
matter where I turn, there you are, standing over us.
We're here on quorum business, enforcing the border you made us break.
A prisoner cannot force their guard to do anything they didn't already want to do, Lieutenant.
Oh, Commander Thune. What a pain in our ass. Where are his ships? Okay. So they're on the other side of the line. As long as they stay on the other side of the line, we won't have any trouble with them. If he dares to pass that, we're going to get a bit defensive. I'll let him take the offense. I guess I'm going to be at a deficit of initiative with him. Let him make the first move. I mean, we're really here patrolling against a Cylon threat. Okay, so Raptors, get going. Get there before the fleet does, if you don't mind. The rest of us just keep headed toward that rock. We'll alter our course. She did say hostile IFFs. What are they doing? Are they launching anything? Nope. Okay, fair enough. Neither are we. Unless he thinks Raptors are a big threat, we need to slow down the carriers. They're kind of trying to jump the fleet. Let's switch that plating to bottom. We're gonna start adding extra cushion to the bottom of the no, that's not how we do it. Deploy plating. Focus on the Lancer, please. The Lancer. There we go. And as for the Lancer, go ahead, follow those Raptors. Get out there. Alright, your move, Commander Thune. Yeah, the Raptors are very much scouts. The biggest analogy I could present, if you're unfamiliar with Battlestars, is kind of like helicopters, as opposed to fighters.
More Dratus contacts.
Yeah.
IFF confirms only one is non-hostile with a civilian transponder.
What?
A freighter with an unregistered military escort. As long as they remain on this side of the border, we should send Marines to investigate.
Okay. Well, we've got Marines on those Raptors, but I can't have those Raptors be shot down. That'll really screw the pooch. You know, she knows these details about these targets. Yeah, no hostile targets present. You want to bet? I could have sworn. Alright, well. Keep your sensors on high and just head that way then. Let's see what they do. Attention, unidentified vessels. Unidentified freighter, we are going to board you. Stand by for a Marine boarding party. We mean no harm whatsoever. Do I start turning the fleet yet? No, we're fine. There's the freighter. Right there. Okay. We'll get Marines aboard that. The rest of these... Holy shit, these are SDU forces. That's Sagittarius. I mean, that's the same forces as were over there, I thought. That said, those are still unidentified. I just assumed those were Thune's men. And they are about to cross the line. All ships launch,
Yes, sir.
launch Vipers.
Understood.
Launch everything. Oh, that was the ship that launched the Raptors. Okay. But was it not?
Understood.
Okay, there we go. Supply ship get on our starboard side and start to dive.
On it, Commander.
Essentially, we'll just take defensive actions. We'll get real close to this rock and possibly use it. As for the Lancer, maintain your course. I get. Actually, no. Yeah, maintain your course, but batten
Brace
down
for
all the
impact.
hatches. Yeah, prepare for combat. You might be seeing it. And Raptors, you're ordered to board that frigate. Let's find out what's going on with them. That'll do, I guess. Raptors are good for scouts, this is Rob, but they are multi-role aircraft, kind of like the U.S. military uses Black Hawk helicopters. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good analogy. Glad to hear it, Samuel, by the way. Sounds like it just got intense. It's getting complicated. I mean, I thought these were Sagittarian forces, but what's weird is that these are definitely Sagittarian forces. So now I'm wondering if that stuff off to our port side is... I don't know. We need to ID it too. As soon as those fighters present themselves, they'll head over there. Especially if that guy crosses the line. Then I think we have every right to. Nobody's shooting, though. That's not lost on me.
Commander, Marines have boarded the freighter. It belongs to a Cancerin shell corporation. The cargo manifests show food, sanitation kits, filtration systems. We have to let this through, right?
Is colonial fleet now the arbiter of basic human needs? My people starve and sleep in their own filth, while the Capricorns pat themselves on the back over how generous they've been. But don't you worry, Commander. We have friends in high places, too. People who will share their dignity with us when our own government won't. You just need to turn a blind eye here, and no one will ever know.
He set this whole thing up. Either the SDU breached their embargo right under our noses, or we have another confrontation inside of Sagittarian space.
All while someone from Cancerin abets the whole thing. I don't doubt the actual delivery Thune wants us to see are those warships.
Ugh. I can't claim to understand what's going on with that. I can only deal with what's on the board. And what's on the board is SDU forces that are talking smack. There's nothing illegal about this ship. It's a Canceron ship. Okay, so as for the Raptors, head out there and identify that, please. We've now identified all the Sagittarian ships. That's going to be a gunship, a corvette, what I would consider to be their flagship, a frigate. Not that impressive, but you don't want to underestimate them, I suppose. I don't want the Lancer to get isolated, so I'm going to have him come about, head back to the fleet. Let's also send a fighter escort along with the Raptors. Yep, that'll work. Finally, the support ship can start to dive. Essentially using the other ships as shields, so to speak. If he can get down by that battle star, that would probably be best. We are still not going to collide with that rock, although we're going to take it on the port. We'll turn to the right. Frankly, I think that'll do it. He has crossed the line, and I don't know... I don't know if that's a bridge too far or not. Let's just keep going. Okay, it's a Corvette. It is human. It's gotta be SDU forces then. Right? The fuck is this?
More Dratus contacts have appeared inside of the embargo zone. IFFs are mixed. Emergency hail incoming.
Commander, that had better be you out there. The These SDU jackasses aren't taking kindly to my leaving, or that we've stolen their ship to do so.
What?
The radicals on that ship are not your friends, Sherman. All they aspire for is for Kane's meat grinder.
I'm just looking for a way off your backwards rock. Anything else these kids do out here is on you. Don't act so surprised they've decided to shoot back at the guy who taught them how.
The revolutionaries are naive. They don't know the devil they want to deal with. I thought you understood better than them.
Okay,
the
well,
border has been broken.
Yeah, I see that.
Units are weapons free. Action stations.
So are we. Yes, action stations throughout the fleet, please. Fire when ready. However, that Battlestar, Coddle's aboard that. He's with us. First, I'm just going to get all these ships on set them all to condition 1 to ready for combat. I don't like this. I don't like this gunship coming around that rock. I mean, they definitely got us in a pincer, so let's turn hard to starboard, present our broadside to the forces ahead of us. Question is, who takes the first shot here? Do we just do it at the same time? Or do I wait? I'm a little worried about Coddle's ship. It's a Minerva-class Battlestar. There's a lot to be said about this ship, but I'll save it for now. It's, I don't want to say it's a step up from the Battlestars we have. It's just different, really. But I've heard it referred to as a glass cannon, so with that in mind, let's dispatch 2 fighter squadrons to defend it until it can fall in with our fleet. Since we're turning to starboard, maybe we'll just completely come about and try to link up with him. I think might be the best option here. I'd try to do this as fast as possible, but jeez, okay. And the Conquistador will fix its guns on that gunship, just in case. Although, we are probably all weapons free again. Alright. Here goes. This Thune guy needs to make an appointment with a copper-jacketed lead suppository. Yeah, I'm getting sick of Marcus Thune showing up. I don't know how popular he is on his planet, but he's very unpopular with Colonial Fleet. Already prepped those action stations. Nice. Set condition 1 throughout the fleet. Done, I believe. Oh, wait. Do I have control of the Minerva? I do. They should go into defensive posture. And boy, they're not moving very fast. They do have fighters, so yeah, launch fighters. Shit, launch everything you got. Good, this is not great. If I'm not mistaken, they are. Oh hell, I don't know what munitions do they have. A PCM. Help me out here. PCM. Why am I drawing a blank? Does a PCM assure mutual destruction of missiles? Is that? You know, without looking it up, we're gonna fire one behind us. Whatever it is, it works like a mine. I think it could even be touching our thrusters a little bit because we are moving forward. Yeah, I guess fire it. Anyone know what a PCM is offhand? That is true. Until they fire, they're still considered non-combatants, especially since we don't know what these ships are beyond the line. And they are beyond the line. I'm giving the Minerva a little bit of slack because it's apparently got history with these forces that are following it. But the main fleet is just kind of gonna, you know, yeah, we're not firing any heavy ordnance or anything, or any ordnance, unless it just happens naturally. I think that'll do it. Let's see how bad this gets all of a sudden. It's getting bad, okay. Well, okay. I would say Minerva get on course with the fleet, but there's an ocean separating us, it seems. Raptor Squadron, identify the rest of those ships, like, ASAP, please. That means, I suppose, yeah, just hit the closest one you got. I'm not seeing their fighters deployed yet, so as of now, we have fighter superiority. Just attack, attack, attack. Focus your guns on that, fire missiles at that. We definitely want to take out a gunship. More missiles. And we'll have the Conquistador open fire on it. This ship will also fire missiles, provided he's not going to hit any allies, and I don't think he will. He's got 2 salvos to spare, and gee, I just don't know how much this gunship can eat up. Not much. It's already suffering. So wipe out that thing, because it's close to the Minerva, and we need that Minerva to survive this. Support ship. Fly between those carriers. I know. We'll tell the Anubis to dive. Fly between them and get your ass over to that Minerva so you can offer it some support. I did say we were coming about, didn't I? And I think I should make good on that. Even if it's just an ever so slight turn to starboard, the fleet will begin doing that. Oh, and the Lancer, the Corvette. You can just make a beeline for the Minerva, offer whatever support you can. Fucking fire your missiles. Yes, that is fine. I think that's fine. Let's just go with that's fine. And fighters. So we will ultimately have. Yeah, we've got 4 fighters. We've got a lot of fighter squadrons moving to the aid of the Minerva. I don't know if that's necessary. I'm just going to have some of these fighter squadrons harass enemy ships. Okay, let me take just a moment to decide what my biggest threat is out here. And honestly, it's the gunship. But we're hitting it hard. After the gunship, I'm going to say, in terms of what I can identify, it's the frigate. But you see, I'm falling into the same trap that the Cylons fall into, and that is to say, I'm overlooking all of their corvettes. But that's what we're going to do. Come on, destroy that gunship. Please, please, please. Perfect! Well, boy, he didn't last long. And yes, we fired too much ordnance at him, but let's check on the condition of the Minerva. Its rear is getting hammered. And that's where we're going to need that support ship to get close and effect some repairs on it. I almost hate to have the Minerva continue on this course. There's part of me that's thinking turn your broadside. Especially, okay, well, now we can identify a lot more of their ships. Yeah. No, you just gotta get further away. I don't like this. He's got so many enemy units behind him that are within gun range. He's taking a lot of damage to the aft section. It's too much damage, alright. So fine. Start to angle yourself to port. Man, by doing that, he's... Oh well, he's getting closer to the fleet. Stay in defensive. I know it's not gonna destroy any enemy ships, but fire your missiles anyways at the same corvette that the other batches of the other salvos are targeting. The Lancer, keep on trucking. Actually, hit your thrusters, pick up speed, get there now. We'll definitely be coming about. We've got to link up with the Minerva and offer it a modicum of protection. Because I'm assuming this is going to be one of those situations where they're so hell-bent on destroying the Minerva that they're not going to focus on us as much until they, destroy it, I guess. The Battlestar can fire. I think we're hitting that enemy corvette with enough ordnance here in a second. I need to figure out, before we have him fire, they definitely have a more impressive ship that's become apparent, and that is the Ranger. This is, well, it's just like ours. It's a missile boat, it's a cruiser class, so it's just a step down from a Battlestar. But a lot of missiles. Our Raptors are being engaged by enemy fighters. With that in mind, go ahead and attack the fighters. I know you're not necessarily built for that, and we will dispatch another fighter squadron to protect the Raptors. Sad thing is, they're going to have that gunfight right under the guns of the enemy fleet, so that doesn't look good, but it's all we can do, in a way. We have 2 fighter squadrons over here just harassing, and that's... there's better things to do, I bet, but... What about this frigate? Or freighter? Never mind. Forget the freighter. Freighter's not going to do anything. Unless it rams us. But I doubt it's going to do that. Besides, its registry says that it's Canceron, not Sagittarion. So I'm curious about what it... curious as to what its intentions are here. Everything else is looking okay. And hey, we got first blood. That gunship is down. The PCM is an intercept weapon, so it should stop incoming missiles. And you know what? I think you're right, because I think it did that. In other words, I think it's gone already, but it stopped the salvo. Can the Minerva fire another one yet? No, they have to wait 1 turn, but that's the ticket. We'll just keep launching PCMs in between it and the income. Well, it and... really the missile boat, right? I mean, I'm just waiting for that thing to fire. In the meantime, we have 3 fighter squadrons protecting the Minerva. Part of their job will be to intercept incoming ordnance. The only sad part about that is the enemies are so damn close that they won't have a lot of time to do that. Everybody's making their turn. Everybody's at condition 1 except for the Minerva, who's at, like, the opposite condition. This'll do. Let's go. There. The missile boat's firing. Again, it's just... Oh, whoa! The fighter squadrons totally took out all of that incoming ordnance. Their corvette is getting hammered. And we got a lot more missiles heading toward it. Really... I'm starting to think, considering what the fighters just did, I'm going to break off 1 more squadron and order them to take out the enemy fighters. If we can clear this area of enemy fighters, then we've got a lot more elbow room. The Battlestar's about to get hit, or it is getting hit. What fired that? That is a frigate. So they have a few frigates. Okay. Can we do this? Can we do what I'm thinking? I think we can. Okay, activate flak, starboard side. I don't do this very often, especially when we have fighters out there, but that's not even going to do it, is it? Well, and climb a little bit, will that help? Because those look like, it looks like unguided ordnance. So far I'm not seeing anything. Okay. The Astraeus can fire another round of missiles. Let's figure out a target here. Hit their missile ship. I'm gonna hazard a guess that that is their flagship at this point. And so, yeah, let's start focusing munitions on it. Now, I wonder, can the cancel deploy plating and try to deploy plating to Minerva if he's in range? He is. Hell yeah. So if we can start repairing that. The thing is, the Minerva's just not very fast. I thought it was a fast little battle star. It does have a PCM available. Let's fire it. It's not going to damage our fighters, is it? Oh well, just, I guess, just kind of fired at that gunship. Not that the gunship has missiles, but what with the cruiser behind it. That'll. Of course, the cruiser just fired. Okay, wait. Delay that. Put the PCM between. Yeah. I'm kind of worried that Corvette's going to fire next. Actually, no, he's not. I need to check this stuff out before I go issuing these orders. Well, fine. Just do what we talked about a second ago. Put it there in between their missile boat and us. I think that's all the Minerva can do right now. Taking a lot of damage to its left flank. I just don't know. I think that's all I can do. Okay, our cruiser is firing our battle star. Hate to do this, but go into defensive mode. Seal off all compartments. That will do. What about fighters? How do they have fighters operating unmolested? I don't like that. Oh, because you're harassing a Corvette. Stop that. Hit their fighter squadrons. We wipe out their fighters. We'll be looking at... I don't want to say air superiority because that's just not accurate. And finally, how is our Raptor doing? Holy shit, their fighters are running from them. Okay, well, send the Raptor to the Minerva class, I think. I believe that'll be it. I will check up on communications. What just happened? I don't know. This is a fair question. Apparently they meant to fire from the get-go as soon as they jumped in. Too much is never too much when eliminating potent foes. This is true. This is true. I do cringe when I see wasted ordnance, though, sadly. He is now space debris. Indeed. Indeed. I am glad to have that gunship knocked out. In multi-munition ships, you fire a PCM at incoming volleys, and then following turn, you fire your ordnance at enemy. Rinse and repeat. I do kind of like letting them fire and then returning fire. Rather than it all happening at once. I don't know why. It gets a little confusing with all those torpedoes. PCM only affects missiles. Yeah. It can intercept friendly missiles. I believe you're right. But we don't really have... The only ones we have outgoing. It could mess with those. As for the Lancer, let's give him a target. Let's see if he can do some good. You know what? Put yourself in there, Lancer, because I'm thinking they're not going to target you because they think you're too inconsequential. So start tearing up. I know it's painful to tear up another Corvette of the same class, but Sagittarion started this. I want to say that'll do it. Let's see what happens. The flak kind of intercepted a few of them. There went one of their Corvettes. Yep, if the PCM works as desired, their cruiser is screwed. He's got to get around that or through it in order to hit his mark. Oh, and the Minerva is in terrible shape. Terrible shape on the port side and in the rear. I don't want to show my rear to them, but I feel like I have to if I want to make a turn. It's either that or turn into them. Yeah, if we can come about quickly, that would be ideal. Because we're going to start losing lives on that ship. That said, support ship, go ahead, cancel deploy plate. Well, you were deploying to the rear, weren't you? So, scratch that. Keep on doing it. No, he was deploying to the left. Okay. So we'll start adding plating to the rear of the Minerva. Lancer, I want to say they just took out another Corvette, and I want them to, as Rob mentioned, rinse and repeat with this Corvette. And he's got this Corvette. The one thing this Corvette has is whatever its munitions are there. I can't quite tell. It's a mine or something like that. But as we've noted many times, its strongest gun is down low. And so it can't even hit the Lancer. Problem is, this gunship, whatever it chooses to fire at, is getting torn up until we can remove the gunship from the equation. Got more missiles inbound toward the Battlestar, so we will keep the flak going for now. Which sucks, because the Battlestar is ready to return fire with ordnance, but baby, you're not going to fire missiles through your own flak. Can anything else fire missiles? I'm sure our cruiser can. Nope. I'm not sure of that. I'd be absolutely wrong. They have him fire specifically at that, and even turn a little bit to help get an angle on it. Fighters. What are our fighters doing? They're mainly defending the Minerva. Some of them are engaging the enemy ships. In fact, well, and they're doing alright, so don't interrupt a good thing. Is this one of our fighter squadrons? What are you doing? Probably still on that harass the enemy shit. And that's great. I don't want you flying back towards the Battlestar, so yeah, keep doing what you're doing. As long as that flak's up, we definitely don't want our fighters coming back. Here we go.
That secondary battery
Okay, I believe that's good stuff. The Minerva did complete its turn. It's now showing its stronger sides of the enemy. He'll go low. Let's see. Left and rear are damaged. Everything else is okay. What I'm trying to determine is whether or not the Minerva should just set itself to condition 1 and start opening fire. Like, with feeling. We're going to try it. If it backfires, we'll know in 1 round, and we'll do something about it, but... got a gunship and a cruiser that really need to go. Really? Is that thing even in range? Man, what a mess. Trying to make heads or tails out of who's who here. Okay, so they've got 1 Corvette that's slipping out in front of us. Let's stop that from happening. I'll have the light carriers put their guns on that Corvette. This light carrier is going to try something a little bit audacious and in a way sail toward the enemy. And finally, there's a Lancer. Come up behind him. I know he's got dorsal guns, but I'm hoping he'll be dead before he can use them. And besides, the Lancer hasn't been hit once. Sure enough, they don't expect good things from my Lancer. We'll have the Battlestar turn a little bit to starboard to get its flak field in front of these missiles. They're not gonna let me stop firing the flak, unfortunately. They're just gonna keep it up. However, even though our Battlestar cannot fire missiles for fear of them just being destroyed, these other ships can, and so we'll take out the closest encroaching ship. Battlestar can put its guns on that ship anyways. And finally, our cruiser. Nothing new. I'm really firing at 2 targets primarily. Well, I guess 3 if we're to include their cruiser. Yeah, just keep the fire on him. Nope, that's not him. There he is. So essentially, we're dividing our fire between 3 targets, which isn't my favorite tactic. But there's 3 enemy units that are very concerning, and they're not really lumped together. Let's see what happens. Also, supply ship, or support ship, that is. That's the Jarl. Not the Jarl of Whiterun. I think he can keep doing what he's doing, which is adding plating to the rear of the Minerva. So we'll stick with that. Here goes. Come on, flak. Do your job. Excellent. Don't destroy our ordnance. Hell yeah. Okay, their frigate over here just lost it. Their Corvette is as good as dead. We'll let the Lancer chew it up, and that'll do. Lancer still hasn't taken a single hit. And to think I was thinking about rotating him out of the fleet, but if that's the way things are gonna go. Alright, the Minerva needs to repair their hangars. They are on condition 1. Nah, that's not gonna do. They need to batten down the hatches again. fact, their right side is all torn up now, and there's an enemy gunship right there. Wow, man, if Cottle, who's in command of this Minerva, if his death means mission failure, then I'm afraid we're probably looking at mission failure. Because they're just laying into him, and he's really got no recourse at this time. This gunship needs to go. And unfortunately, it's in pretty good shape right now. So at this point, I need all guns on that enemy gunship. Everything. Don't think we have missiles to let loose. And like I said, I think the Lancer can take care of that guy alone. Support ship, you need to start repairing. I know I'm changing what you're supposed to repair every turn, but you need to repair the starboard side of the Minerva. I did that wrong. Deploy plating, Minerva, starboard. This is not good. Don't think you can hit this target, but I'm telling you to anyways. Cancel flak, fire missiles. That'll be with the Battlestar. And what's more, it's time to get the Battlestar into position to fire its guns on that. Change your posture to condition 1, offensive posture. I know, you really want to shoot at that Corvette, and you'd kill it really quick, but it's not the problem. The problem is that gunship. Fighter squadrons are defending the gunship, or the Minerva. I'm very pessimistic all of a sudden, but here goes. Come on, kill it. And we're gonna lose the Minerva. We're gonna lose the battle. Yes, the Minerva is all but done. And in fact, he's sailing right into a mine, and that'll probably seal the deal. Son of a bitch. Yes, fire it. Fire it all. No, keep your fire on him. How much until he's done? Not nearly as much. Does Minerva have any plating on its right side? No, it doesn't. It can fire a PCM, but I don't think that's going to matter, but we'll do it anyway. No, because then it will hit our own ordnance. Lancer, I know you're a little guy, but put some fire on that. Everybody else is focused on the proper target. We don't want the Battlestar to run into that mine there. We also don't want him to collide with that freighter. This is it. I'm just going to go because I think the Minerva is going to be destroyed, and that will be the end of the mission. That said, I'll be able to go back into it somewhat knowing what to expect. Damn, that is a shame. Of course, it's top armor in front. Nah, it doesn't matter. Goodbye, Minerva. Goodbye, Doc Cottle. Fuck! Okay. Well, now, as much as I don't like gaming the system in this way, now I know kind of what to do. I'll keep my fleet back. So they'll be closer to the Minerva when this fight starts, and we won't suffer that pincer movement. Shit, though. Absolute shit. I'm gonna play the replay. I'll be right back with you. Here you go. Here's us letting the Minerva get destroyed. Sorry about the slight delay there after the replay. I was beating myself up. Okay. So, we do it again. And fuck it, we'll do it again. We'll do it live. Until the shooting started, this is Rob. You didn't even know the Minerva was on your side. Don't take that one too hard. I won't, In fact, I don't know what I could have done. It was in gun range, That's what gets me, is... Why am I missing a ship? I'm missing a frigate and the support ship. I think I know what's going on. I do believe it's taken me back to my last save. So Fleet Group 300, which is a supply fleet, needs to get these ships to Fleet Group Sagittarian before they begin. No, don't engage. Jump. to Sagittaron. I believe that'll do it.
Detected a Cylon strike fleet, sir.
Well, hopefully they can beat them. Yeah, okay, here we go.
A fortified colony is under attack.
Wait a minute, I didn't mean to do that. I think it's okay. Yeah, auto-resolve that, because that's nothing. And postpone our action at Sagittaron so we can do some ship transfers. Okay, now let's do those transfers. What needs repaired? Oh. Fleet Group Pycon, our toughest fleet. That's why I auto-resolved that. There's no question that they would win unless a Baystar was coming in after them or something. Then it would be a fight. But, what was the frigate that was with that group? Let's just say it was the... Let's just say the K-Silent and call that the Jolin. Transfer to Fleet Group Sagittaron. Also do the same thing with the Jarl, the supply ship. I'm positive that that was the supply ship. And jump the supply fleet out of there. Back to Ragnar.
Fleet Group has its coordinates.
Okay. Let's try this again.
Cylon
this time with
strike group has
feeling.
been detected.
Don't talk over me, lady. Who's getting hit? Fleet Group Pycon again? Alright, swat him. Done. Fleet Group Sagittaron. Conquistador at the head. Go
Fleet
ahead.
Group has its coordinates.
No, I didn't mean to postpone. I hit the wrong damn button. Alright, we go one more turn. That's fine. Let's effect repairs on Fleet Group Pycon. Let's kill another turn. Here we go. Alright, Commander Murray. Save the Minerva. Save Coddle so he can smoke a bunch of cigarettes in the Battlestar series. I love that. In the show Battlestar Galactica, Ronald D. Moore's reimagining of it, Dr. Coddle, this old guy, who's the doctor of the fleet, really, he's the main guy. He chain smokes. I think at least once one of his patients says, "Can you put that out?" He's like, "No." So now we kind of know what to expect. And I think they want us to do that patrol route. I think I'll just leave that to the Raptor and have the rest of the fleet in its entirety turn around, kinda, in order to be there when the Minerva comes in. And yes, that is kind of cheating, because it's like I know what to expect now. But whatever. We've got good intel. That's what I'll chalk it up to. The frigates, let's put them on the flanks. Stagger them a little bit. Try to make this go a bit faster this time. Without, hopefully not overlooking anything. But just, it's the same way I played XCOM. It was like I wanted to rush through the commands. Because, in reality, you wouldn't have 5 minutes to figure this all out. I mean, these would have to be quick orders. Those should be Viper Mark IIs. Okay, good. I left a like, but I'll need it back in 8 hours. I mean, if I can just borrow it, I appreciate it. You'll get it back in the same condition you left it, I promise. I promise. If not, I'll see you in small claims court. So yeah, this is not a move that I would have done, not knowing what's going to happen, but we'll turn hard to port. The entire fleet hard to port. Only other thing is go ahead and launch Raptors, get them going on the normal patrol route.
Understood.
Everything else, turn that away. Watch, it'll change the details up. I don't think it will. That's something XCOM did. Had a hell of a time, but I think they let you decide that, whether it's pre-programmed events or whether it's random, and I always went with random, which kind of bit me in the ass a few times, because you know, you'd try to save scum, and it'd be like, oh, well, now something totally different is happening, and that enemy that you were worried about is not even there. It's a cool component, but like I said, it tripped me up sometimes. Okay, everything's on a port turn. Naval Command's like, what are you doing? Are you heading toward the border? Yes, we are. We're gonna get some Taco Bell. Yeah, Rob says, in reality, you wouldn't have 5 minutes to figure this all out. True, but in reality, you would have a decade of experience before commanding a battle fleet. That's true. That is true, and I'd have... Each one of these ships would have a commander to make those decisions relatively quickly. Well, not a commander. I mean, a CO, but albeit lieutenant colonels and lieutenants for that matter, probably aboard the Corvette. Speaking of which, something I've already overlooked. I added extra plating to the Lancer. Now I'm thinking, yeah, I'll do that again. That's fine. Because I am going to put the Lancer in some, in I guess, a perilous situation here. I'm going to have him fly with very little regard for his own safety. As for the Raptor, let's get that Raptor moving to the first waypoint. And then we'll listen to Marcus Thune's monologue, I'm sure. Another fine kaboom, just on the wrong side. That's all.
Commander Thune. Hostile IFFs have jumped near the fleet's patrol route, Commander.
Patch him through.
Colonial fleet, of all the empty patches of space.
Hi, Mark.
Feels like no matter where I turn, there you are.
Yes.
Standing over us.
We're here on quorum business, enforcing the border you made us break.
A prisoner cannot force their guard to do anything they didn't already want to do, Lieutenant.
He was never cut out for Colonial Navy. That's what I'm getting from that. From his position, I guess. Just weren't cut out for it, bud. That's all. Let's have the carriers dive. We do not want them to be in the way of the Battlestar's missiles. We can have the frigate speed up for the same reason. This frigate needs to get out from back here if it wants to fire ordnance when this starts. So we'll kind of have them inch this way a bit. Other than that, everything's good, I think. Yeah, let's go with it. In reference to your commander's statement, all commanding officers on U.S. Navy vessels are called captain regardless of rank. Oh. Uh-huh. I'm gonna slow the fleet, because for all I know, if I cross this line, they'll be like, mission failed, can't do that. And by the way, I should note that this is a story mission. With any other mission, if I had lost that Minerva, I just would have lost the Minerva, and the thing would continue. So I don't want people to get the impression like, oh shit, if you lose some ships, you just start over. No, you carry on just with less ships. But yeah, for story missions, they force you to redo it. Otherwise, I said I've employed save scum in games. I don't like to. For instance, my XCOM playthrough, I only did it a handful of times, and generally it was for technical reasons. Like the game froze up, or something like that. Alright, I think we're in good shape. Are Raptors heading out? Yes, they are. Let's go ahead and launch one squadron of Vipers. If I wasn't so hell-bent on immersion, I'd have launched all the Vipers, and I'd be positioning them right now, but we're going to launch one squadron, and they'll rendezvous with our Raptors. The rest I'll keep close to the vest. That'll do. Don't hit anybody. There you go. Almost think I should be turning to port again.
More Dratus contacts.
Yep.
IFF confirms only one is non-hostile with a civilian transponder.
What's up with that?
Military escort. As long as they remain on this side of the border, we should send Marines to investigate.
You've got it. We'll send those Marines to investigate. Let's see. I wonder which one is the, See, I would know that, though, because my XO just flat out said that, like, one of them has different signatures, so that's what kind of bothered me about that. They should make it apparent which one that is, instead of having to guess. But of course, we didn't really have to guess this time. Let's turn to port, but let's slow it down. Everybody needs to be going super slow, because we'll be turning to port one more time. And I don't want to pass the line, whatever the line is. Essentially, I think it's the border that puts us into Sagittarian space. Let's keep adding armor to the Corvette. Let's go with the front.
Launching drones.
Let's turn our carriers.
On it, Commander.
Good. That'll do. That'll do. Do I launch fighters yet? No. No, I don't. Not until I quote-unquote know that something's up. Honestly, the appearance of Marcus Thune should compel me to launch fighters, though. Let's see. I know it doesn't exist anymore, but Commodore sounds cool. Especially the Commodore 64, which also doesn't exist. Although Rob says Commodore still exists, it's not a rank, but a position. Thought it stopped being an official rank in the 1700s. Says odd. I don't know anything about ranks, really, yeah. It was discontinued in the late 1800s as a rank, but it's still used when a senior captain is in charge of multiple ships for a mission. Huh, I did not know that. Do we start our next turn to port? I think we do. Just doing a big circle out here.
On it, Commander.
But we're not going to be jerks about it, you know what I mean?
On
You
it,
guys
Commander.
to make a tight turn to port, somewhat tight. And finally, the Lancer.
So say we all.
How about our Raptors? What's the word? They're getting there, and no one's firing at them. I mean, is this what initiates the fire? The Raptors landing? Where Thune's just like, oh, no, you don't. It might be it. I don't know. Here goes.
Commander, Marines have boarded the freighter. It belongs to a Cancerin shell corporation. The cargo manifests show food, sanitation kits, filtration systems. We have to let this through, right?
Is colonial fleet now the arbiter of basic human needs? My people starve and sleep in their own filth, while the Capricans pat themselves on the back over how generous they've been. But don't you worry, Commander. We have friends in high places, too. People who will share their dignity with us when our own government won't. You just need to turn a blind eye here, and no one will ever know.
He set this whole thing up. Either the SDU breached their embargo right under our noses, or we have another confrontation inside of Sagittarian space.
All while someone from Cancerin abets the whole thing. I don't doubt the actual delivery Thune wants us to see are those warships.
I mean, that's what the manifest says. That's probably not what that Cancerin ship is carrying. We can't just go off of the manifest.
Understood.
So, oh, that must be it. That's all. You need to get out
Understood.
of the firing arc of our flagship.
Yes, sir.
I think that will do. Cannot fire yet, but I believe that's happening very soon. No fighters yet. Although, let's recall the
Recalling
Raptors
squadron.
for now. And where are the fighters that were ordered to support those Raptors? Oh shit, I never ordered them to support the Raptors, so they're just flying around the fleet. Okay, well, you go defend the Raptors, please. You'll never get there in time, but that'll do. When do they fire? Oh, when the Minerva jumps in. There we go.
More Dratus contacts have appeared inside of the embargo zone.
Patch 'em
IFFs are
through.
mixed. Emergency hail incoming.
Commander, that had better be you out there.
It
These
is.
SDU jackasses aren't taking kindly to my leaving, or that we've stolen their ship to do so.
The
That's the
radicals on
thing.
that ship are not your friends, Sherman. All they aspire for is for Kane's meat grinder.
I'm just looking for a way off your backwards rock. Anything else these kids do out here is on you. Don't act so surprised they've decided to shoot back at the guy who taught them how.
Your revolutionaries are naive. They don't know the devil they want to deal with. I thought you understood better than them.
The embargo border has been broken. SDU units are weapons free. Action stations.
Action stations. And look, the Minerva's right there. Sweet. Turn the fleet to port one more time. And yes, condition 1 throughout the fleet. You should dive more. Yeah. Okay, it'll take a second to set all ships to condition 1, but that's what I'm doing now. Get them in a good offensive posture so that their guns are a little more aware. Show some vigilance this time. As for these two, I mean, honestly, they can kind of keep doing what they're doing. They're moving so slow, I don't think they need to make the turn. Launch Raptors. Or rather, Launch Vipers. Is that all we've got? I think it is. Oh yeah, because we already had one launched, alright. As for the Lancer... So, I mean, this time we're not going to pounce on this gunship, that's for sure. We're going to be more concentrated on these ships that are about to cross the border in pursuit of the Minerva. As for the Minerva, you can go ahead and launch squadrons. Go ahead and launch that PCM too. I mean, if they take that as hostile, then it's truly nothing compared to what they're going to fire at us. So let's launch that there in the hopes that it does some good. Let's get you across the border. I could kick on his thrusters, but I'm more inclined to have him batten down the hatches, though that didn't do a lot for us last time. I wonder if our support ship is in range to start essentially buffing that ship right away. Which, if it can, and it can, we're going to add plating to the rear of the Minerva. And yes, let's see. Yeah, the Minerva doesn't go that much further with its thrusters on. So we will put them in a defensive posture and have them carry on at their normal heading. Or at their existing heading. That will have to do. Launching fighters, yes. Condition 1, yes. Ordnance really cannot be fired because we haven't identified anything aside from these ships, which I'm reluctant to fire long-range shots at them just because that rock. I mean, I could end up hitting it. I don't want to waste ordnance. So that will do, I think. I think it does. I think it does have the... Yeah, it's got flak. Oh, that's interesting. Once its fighters get clear, anyways, because it does need to launch fighters. The only trade-off is that I can either have fighters defend it or the flak. If I try to do both, you run the risk of destroying those fighters. But yeah, that is something to keep in mind, that it can fire flak as well. It's a really potent ship if it weren't for the fact that its armor sucks. And in this particular scenario, I have no way of defending it, you know. If you were using the Minerva in a long-range engagement, great. But not to mention, it's boasting Mark I fighters, not Mark II fighters. Just kind of a shame. Okay, well, now let's do something with the Lancer. Let's put the Lancer up in their business. Here we go, shots fired. Did the PCM not work? What happened there? I guess I missed it. It may have worked, but it's already gone, I think. Oh, let's see. There's almost just not even enough time to turn and activate flak. We do have the fighters going after the torpedoes. This is gonna hurt. In fact, the Minerva's already... its plating is already getting twisted. But at least this time the main fleet is So close that the Minerva really doesn't have that far to go. Could this fire and not hit the Minerva? You know, even if it does hit the Minerva, it's gonna hit the front, which I don't plan to approach the enemy with the Minerva, so we'll go ahead and fire. We're gonna fire everything we can. Take 4 to 5 salvos to take out a Corvette. I hate making the Corvette my initial target, but so be it. It's the closest thing, and it does fire missiles, so you know, there's worse things to shoot at. Is that the wrong one? That's fine. The missiles will take care of the other one. Finally, the Battlestar. One more salvo of missiles on that Corvette. Battlestar can fire at maybe the other one if he doesn't hit the Minerva. And I can't quite tell. I don't think he will. I'm going to risk it. No, don't cancel. Just to be sort of safe, I guess we'll have the Minerva dive a bit. It can fire too. It's in defensive mode, so it won't fire as many missiles. But that'd be alright to take out all these Corvettes in one fell swoop. And how's the Minerva doing? I already checked that. Okay, I guess. We've got fighters out there, but they're not... They don't have independent orders yet. These two are defending the Minerva. That's good. That's what we want. Let's dispatch yet another, because at least it's a Mark II instead of a Mark I to defend the Minerva. Let's have this other fighter squadron defend. Honestly, I don't know what else they're going to be shooting at. They're so hell-bent on hitting the Minerva that I just don't know. Let's have these fighters defend the Raptors. As for the Raptors, we'll have them set about identifying the enemy capital ships that are back here. Of course, we know what they are, but we don't, kind of deal. I think that's going to be the gunship, which, considering that's what destroyed the Minerva, and we do have a semblance of missile defense, we'll go after the gunship. The closest gunship needs to go. Let's make sure the Battlestar's guns are not really on the Corvettes. I think we stand a fair chance of destroying both of them this round. So we'll put guns on what I presume to be the gunship. Oh, those are already fixed on that. Okay, that'll work. Let's go. Let's see what happens. Minerva, how you doing? Hell yeah. So he's getting some rear armor replaced. So it's a struggle, them trying to break through that armor. His navigation system is being wiped out. That sucks. Alright, well, he's done running. Turn to port. Fix navigations. I don't know if they'll let us turn once I take nav offline. Alright, I guess that'll work. The fleet needs to get closer. This is, damn. This is danger close. We're some point-blank shit, honestly. How about those enemy Corvettes? Did we take either of them out? Not yet. Huh. No, not nearly. Can we pass the border? That's, you know, in reality, in sci-fi reality, I'd be on the horn with some kind of higher authority saying, like, in a shooting war, can we pass that border, or is it still considered a DMZ, or what? Did anything not fire their missiles last turn? I doubt it, because it did seem like there were a lot of missiles outbound. Yeah. The Minerva did too. Okay. Fair enough. Are we intercepting that incoming ordnance? Yes, we definitely are. Let's see. Looked like the PCM took out a few incoming shots. Good. Yeah, they crossed the border. Why not me? I agree. If they're firing across it, if someone wanted to be legal about it, we're firing ordnance across it. So I think we're probably good. I might risk it because ultimately I want to have some of these ships come around this way. Because we gotta get in between the Minerva and those enemy ships. Take out those Corvettes, please. Yes! Next one. Ah, so damn close. In fact, yeah, so close that essentially a fighter squadron could take it out. So we can turn our fire onto these bigger ships now. The Lucky Lancer is gonna go ahead and start firing at that. It's not gonna be a lot of damage, but I don't think they're gonna return fire on the Lancer. I really don't. Boy, I hate having these ships downrange of the big guns and the big missiles and the big jello pudding pops. Sorry. I don't know. Just when I started saying the big, I felt like I was channeling Bill Cosby. Just channeling him, okay? Nothing. I'm not praising the guy. Come on now. Alright, so the rear of the Minerva is not so much in danger anymore. So let's transfer that plating to the port side of the Minerva. Because that's top. Okay, let's do the top. That's fine. She says she's taking damage to the top side. Some of that's probably from us. You guys can speed up. I think you can take your guns off of that Corvette, and they are long-range guns. In fact, let me double-check this. Okay, maybe not. We'll have one of you aim at... Yeah, one of you aim at the gunship in anticipation of the gunship coming into range. The other one will finish off that. And with that in mind, I guess no other ship needs to be focused on that. They need to turn their attention to the enemy gunship that's inbound. And I'm focusing so hard on my left flank that I'm letting these ships get closer. And I'm not thrilled with that. I want to say we have an inbound unidentified. That's small, so that's going to be a fighter squadron. Let's send some fighters out there to intercept. They're not even firing at the support ship. Usually they love to lay waste to the support ships. That seems to be their priority so much of the time. Our missile boat can, really just destroy that gunship. That's all I'm wanting right now. I don't think we have any more missiles to fire. I think virtually all of our guns are fixed on the gunship. Just to make sure. Nope, I don't want to do that. In fact, I'm sure the Battlestar's in range of it. Oh, yeah, kinda. Kinda, we'll see. I think that'll do. How's our Minerva doing? Not great on the left side. They're not punching through yet. Well, no, apparently they were punching through. That was probably earlier with the shots in the rear. Because we do have some internal damage, but navigations are being put back online, or will be soon. Doesn't matter, the thing's slow as hell. It can fire ordnance, especially if this dumbass gets out of the way. The Jolin. So dive, speed up. I shouldn't have to remind him to fire at the gunship. We'll have the Minerva climb a little bit. Fire missiles at the gunship. Fire PCMs. Or APCM. Almost right on top of the gunship. Don't hit it though. I've seen that happen. Where you fire some kind of mine or PCM or whatever, and it hits a ship. They take into account that it's not armed yet, so it just kind of shatters against the ship. Because I remember the first time I saw that, like, oh no, my mine's gonna hit that ship. Well, hey, it'll still damage the ship. No, it didn't. It just pretty much broke. I don't think we still don't have any missiles to fire. Yeah, we do. Yeah, the flagship can fire. Alright. Let's hope that does it. Is there anything else out there? There's an enemy fighter squadron. It's being engaged. Here's another fighter squadron that's trying to slip through. We'll engage it. Get some dogfights going. The support ship is still not taking any fire. They're adding plating to the port side of the Minerva, and that's good. Pretty soon we got to worry about these incoming ships from dead ahead. Because it was a funny and successful man. Every man is flawed. Oh, BC was a funny and successful man. Every man is flawed. Oh, you're talking about Cod? No, that's not. Who is BC? Why am I lost? Here goes. Nice, nice. Yep. All that incoming ordnance is being shot down. We definitely have fighter superiority in play. And you know what? We're not even going to have to cross the line. I don't think it will matter game mechanics-wise. But truly, it's not necessary anyways. We'll destroy shit on the other side of the line. Never mind, Lancer's like, fuck it, I already crossed the line. What are you talking about? Let's start hitting their biggest ship. What's going on here? Left is not in good shape. How's the rear? Not great. Well, I said I wouldn't turn toward the enemy with the Minerva, but it honestly is the best move to turn like that. Turn our starboard side to these incoming ships and our front to the enemy. I think that's the move. He can climb too, considering topside's getting torn to hell. Actually, no, topside is not getting torn to hell. It's got the plating now. So, with that said, let's have our support ship deploy plating again to the Minerva. Which side? Let's do the rear. Because pretty soon you're going to have your rear facing those enemies. So yeah, let's do that. Everything else, fix your guns on, yeah, the cruiser. Knock that cruiser out, and then we can clean up. Do you have missiles? Yep. Use them. That's a lovely thing. They're firing missiles at us, but they're not even making it to their targets because our fighter squadrons are so on point. We, on the other hand, well, our missiles are getting through, thankfully. It sucks when they don't. It's the Cylons eventually get good enough that they start intercept. I mean, they can intercept the shit from day one, but they start firing PCMs, and they have these squadrons that can take a salvo of our missiles. And if they put their squadron in there and activate this thing, they can turn our missiles around and send them back toward one of our ships. That is so disheartening when you see that happening, especially with a nuke, I might say. that's the worst, where you're like, oh no. I think we're good. This is very much a cluster frack. Check in on the Minerva one more time. He's still working on navigations. His hangar base starting to get damaged. It's alright. I don't care about your Viper Mark 1s anyways. And that will do. Oh, yeah, Bill Cosby. Sorry. I just mentioned him, and now I'm like, who's BC? Pudding Pop Pusher. You Pudding Pop Pusher, you. It's the pushing pop. That's a horrible impersonation. Okay, so rear armor is let's make a super tight turn, like as hard as possible, because I hate the fact that we're showing our rear to the enemy. Puts us in a lot of danger. In fact, let's just not do it. Let's not do it. Let's disrespect the border since it's already been disrespected and keep moving. Their missile cruiser is in trouble. He's got tubes loaded though, like he's ready to fire. With that in mind, let's defend. Just in case. I'm confident that we'll wipe him out this round, but I'm also confident that he's making a last-ditch effort to fire torpedoes, to essentially try to go out with a bang. And we want to deprive him of that, obviously. I think, otherwise, all guns are fixed on him, which may be foolhardy, considering we are sailing right into other ships, one of which is a gunship, and that's not my favorite enemy ship. You're fine back there. No reason to charge in if you're a support ship. Yep, we're crossing the border. Lancer taught us that that's okay. He's over here like, it's fine, it's good, the water feels great. It's really nice over here. It's really putting our previous position in perspective. I think that'll do it. Where are our Raptors, by the way? Are they still alive? Yeah, they are. Can they board? Yeah, they can. I guess the Marines got back on board. Fine, board that ship and give it hell. And I don't think you need 2 fighter squadrons defending you anymore. Instead, let's get yet another squadron on the Minerva. And that will do. Nice, nice. A few missiles got through, but most of them were stopped. Their missile cruiser is out of commission. That leaves their strongest two ships are these two Adamants. This one has about had it. Whereas this one's still in pretty good shape. I don't know what the freighter's doing. If I were him, I'd be heading the opposite direction. Scratch that. Their most powerful ship is this gunship. You know what? I'm kind of curious. I do believe these carriers are kind of mini gunships in their own right. Let's do it. Let's put that to the test. It's 2-on-1 anyway. They have to be shooting some of our ships, or are they all concentrating on the Minerva? Yes, they are. Yeah, I mean, they're being so stubborn about this. I would not be surprised if this freighter's coming in to ram them, or some shit. I don't like his heading at all. And while this... Okay, I can't target it. No. Okay, well maybe it's not then. Maybe it's truly civilians that are just stuck in this. We've got missiles for you. At least I think that'll be okay. Not so sure about our cruiser being able to fire without hitting his own ships. Maybe if he speeds up and climbs? You know what? Let's just not. Let's pick an alternative target. I hate to, but I just don't see that working. So hit that damaged ship. Maybe we knock it out. It's almost gone anyways. Minerva, what to do with you? Yeah, might as well fire missiles. Put your guns on that too. Marines have successfully boarded this ship. And while they do have more Marines on that ship than we deployed, their Marines are shitty Sagittarian Marines. No, I don't know. You've got a real good beat on him, so go ahead. Lancer, what to do with you? Still just enjoying the view up there. Just get your guns fixed onto him and wait for a reload. I think that will do it. Fighter looks like he's heading straight at Minerva. Yeah. Or wait, that's us, that's us. I might have caught that late. In which case, I think we have removed their fighters. Probably just now. I'll tell you one thing for sure, the Minerva sure can't fire flat, can it? It's got so many allied fighters flying about. Alright, let's do it. Sweet. Good deal, good deal. Yeah, the Minerva is in a precarious position here. Man. Start repairing your hangar. Navigations are back online. Not that I really want to navigate a whole lot. It's time to investigate the Minerva a little more thoroughly. Where are your guns? I guess more specifically, what do you have on top? Excuse me. Yeah, that's a lot of guns. So then dive. Put your guns on that. Can that fire missiles? Not yet. Not yet. And so, all squadrons, you will be designated as Red Squadron. All squadrons, engage that. It's either, yeah, no, Minerva demands that kind of attention, I guess. I was gonna say, well, maybe I should have the fighters go after this gunship, but no. He is ready to fire. And that kind of sucks, because I just ordered all fighters to break off. So, let me switch that. We'll take 2 of you, make you Blue Squadron, and order you to continue defending the Minerva just in case there's incoming munitions from that little Corvette. The Lancer? Still waiting. Tell you what, head over to that other Corvette and try to start giving it a hard time. How about plating on the Minerva? It's starboard side. No, fuck. They're punching through. They're punching through with it. And this'll work. Get under this ship. That way they're forced to fire topside. I'm tempted to put a PCM between the Minerva and that Corvette. Am I firing any missiles this turn? I don't think I am. Alright, that'll work. And we'll start having our flagship dive. Actually, no, we'll keep it there. I wonder if its guns can hit that. It's a stretch. That's pretty far. We can definitely hit that. Not too crazy about my decisions this round, but I might. Oh, freighter. That wasn't fighter, that was freighter. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought too. But they're not letting me target him, so maybe he's... For civilians, they're getting right in the mix of things. Oh, nice. Nice. Wow. That's how the PCM works right there. That was great. And between the Minerva and this frigate, going right under the frigate was the right call. The Minerva's going to destroy it. Which I'm pleased. I'm very pleased. Of all the things to destroy it, the Minerva should. So that truly just leaves their gunship. And I do believe our missile cruiser. He can't really do it. He can't fire at them without hitting his own ships. But truly, it's a matter of time. At any rate, I'll have these other ships break off. I'll in fact have our Battlestar turn its broadside. These two are tearing them up. How about you, Lancer? Can you do it? Can you hit them with missiles? You know what? You're the Lancer. Just say fuck it. I mean, you're the guys that went across the line first, so... If a friendly ship gets in your way, that's their fault. I know it would be my fault, technically, but let's roleplay. Nice, they're clear.
All SDU marks are down. The Cancerin crew on the freighter have been detained for questioning.
Good.
There aren't that many colonies that could back-channel this many hulls. I would bet on Pythia's tomb these ships came from somewhere within Winutu's complex. If not the minister herself.
We've all heard the rumors, right? No one doubts that Cancerin used to offload discounted hulls to Tauran and Sagittarian rebels. Do we really believe a profiteer like Winutu wouldn't continue to do so during wartime?
Unless either of you have hard evidence, that's not an accusation I'm willing to make. Commander,
Agreed.
You'll have my report for Kane and the Quorum within the hour.
I don't like Winutu either. I didn't even know she was the Minister of Canceron. I thought she was Sagittarian, but maybe I'm wrong. But she's a tricky politician, that's for sure. She's got her own private army, and that's kind of concerning. Anyways, I much more enthusiastically present this replay. In the meantime, I'm gonna go grab a smoke and patch up my, last time I stepped away, I went to beat myself up. This time I'm gonna go put some witch hazel on my wounds. Here goes. Thank you, Rob. I had some secret intel, but we prevailed because of it. The SDU ships look like they are using the same color scheme as Cerebus and Mass Effect. They have to be evil. They are. They're kind of confused too, sadly. I want to kill Marcus Thune, though. I'm waiting for him to take personal command of one of these ships. It's apparent that he hasn't done that yet. Excuse me. Do you now get to add Minerva to your fleet? Yes. So now we can essentially produce the Minerva class. I still, strangely enough, have to get the blueprints, so I have to spend for that, but I'll do that. The Minerva it's interesting. Yeah, following blueprints have been unlocked. Minerva. Let me investigate it. I mean, I know about it, but the Minerva, a predecessor to the post-war Mercury. Yeah, I mean, you can totally see the resemblance, but it's not a Mercury by any, Mercury would have definitely taken that beating and dished a beating out too. The Minerva, not so much. Anyways, highlights a marked shift in Battlestar design, moving the focus from stability and defense to raw firepower. Despite being smaller than the Jupiter and less armored than the Artemis, the Battlestar's aggressive turret placements on every sector have given the Minerva a reputation as an effective capital destroyer. And we are buying those blueprints directly, and we are also going to begin production of at least a couple of them, maybe 3. The Ortler, that's fine, I'll take that name. It's kind of dumb, but I'll take it. The Razu, sure. Give me a better name with this one. The Kunlun. You know what? I really don't like that name. It sounds too much like cunt. I'm just gonna say it. So yeah, we will cancel that. Do I want to roll the dice again and have him try to produce another? Yeah. As long as I've got over 10,000 Thulium. The Pyrenees. That's fine. That's okay. I can pronounce it. So there, we've got 3 Minervas in production. I assume we'll just attach those to fleets that already have a Battlestar. They'll just give those fleets an extra punch. But yeah, I can totally see that it's a precursor to the Mercury. I'm surprised we didn't get that one. But I guess we did not. No, we didn't. Repair that fleet. Is there another fleet that needs repair? Now, there's also a difficulty setting where in order to repair your fleet, you have to sail it all the way back to Daedalus Station. I couldn't bring myself to do that. Though at times I do think that would be fun. I think there'd be a lot of fleets getting destroyed right there in Kokolis, because that's usually a great ambush spot for the Cylons. Wow, okay, so this only has 2 more rounds until it expires. And I believe that particular mission is Separatists. Yeah, so it's more of the same in terms of...
We need to help deal with SDU militia forces outside of Sagittaron. Go give them a lesson in diplomacy.
Okay. Will we get an officer out of this? That's weird. We don't really need one, but we'll take one, sure. Find something for them to do. Kunlun. Oh. Okay. Kunlun. That's a little better. For some reason, I'm still not fond of that name. I don't know. Oh, let's check the time. I'm in the 2nd hour. So I will fight these Separatist forces, and that'll probably bring it to a close. Rob, I appreciate you hanging in there with me for me having to redo a mission. Yeah, I'm still kicking myself about losing that. But as you advise, I won't be too hard on myself. It's funny though. What can I say? I'm absolutely loving this game, and I know that people aren't. That's what. It doesn't irk me. It just I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. You know, somebody really loves a game when. Yeah, I've got 2 viewers right now. There's 2 of you that are like, eh. I know Rob. You probably have to call it soon because it is getting late. But that's my point. You know you love a game when you're streaming it to 1 or 2 people, and you're not compelled to stop based on the numbers. Of course, if I did things by the numbers, I'd be miserable because I'd be playing. You name it. I'd be playing the popular games all the time. That said, I think. What is today? Monday? Well, technically Tuesday, but I know Caspa's been asking about sailing, and I think that's tomorrow night. Not sailing the stars, but sailing the seas. So, going after militia forces. Now, the question is, which task force do I send against them? I feel like the Fleet Group Sagittarian has already seen enough for tonight, but I almost feel like the fleet to deal with that should come from Helios Gamma. I do too. I really do. I mean, well, like I said, I don't know who suggested that I watch, the pilot of the miniseries back shortly after it aired. But all I gotta admit, and knowing that knowing that you're the one guy left, I gotta say that, so spoilers don't matter. When 6 at the beginning, if I quit streams that only served 1 or 2 people at a time, most of my streams would end early. Yeah, I hear that. I feel you. But I gotta say, like the beginning where they're in the armistice station, and number 6 shows up, and she starts making out with the dude. She's like, "Are you alive?" At that point, I was still thinking like, yeah, see, I don't know if I really want to watch this. Like, I'm not sure what's going on here, but like, this might be too soap opera for my liking. But then the missiles hit, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then, honestly, just that scene where like, right after that, it's zooming in past that asteroid toward the Battlestar Galactica, and you've got Commander Odama, and Lauren Green's great, don't get me wrong. Whether he's in charge of a ranch or a Battlestar, I like Lauren Green. But Edward James Olmos, walking down the hall where he's reciting his speech, just seeing the way they were presenting the CIC of a Battlestar, immediately I kind of raised an eyebrow like, well, this is interesting. This is more like an aircraft carrier than Star Trek ever showed me, or Star Wars. And for that matter, there's no fucking windows. Like, well, I'll never get over that with Star Wars. Star Destroyers have fucking windows? Like, do you need the windows to land these things? I don't think you do. I mean, you can't see beneath the ship from a Star Destroyer's windows. And don't get me wrong, like, I appreciate the designs of say, the Enterprise or Star Destroyers, or certainly the Millennium Falcon. But there's something to be said about the Colonial Forces in Battlestar. And I came across an interesting... I'm sorry, I'm loitering now. Let's see. During the pilot episode, they weren't sure that the skin jobs wouldn't have... they weren't sure that the skin jobs wouldn't have obvious components. Oh, huh. Edward James almost sold that role as a military man. Yeah. He did. And his personal beliefs couldn't be more of a departure from the role that he played. Because I'll watch panels. You know that cast is still getting together. Like, they got together as recently as 2020 and every year prior for panels. And I love watching them. Now, granted, almost, and Mary McDonnell will say things at times politically where I'm like, God, how could you play these roles and have those political beliefs? But I guess you're actors. I mean, that's your deal. And I can't get mad at actors for being, super liberal, because then I'd have nothing to watch. It doesn't blow my mind that liberals tend toward the artistic, the artistic qualities. But, oh man, one of the last panels I watched, it ended with somebody, it might have been Mary McDonnell, saying, you guys are the reason that we keep coming back and doing these. Like, one, we're like a family, and she said she's never been in a production that has been this tight, where they've wanted to get together so much long after the things ended. But she says, part of that is the audience. She is, so cheers to you. And then Edward James you can almost guess what he said. He said, so say we all. And you probably can guess what happens next. A decent portion of the audience said, so say we all. And then, louder, he said, so say we all. And I was just, I gotta admit, I got all nerdy gushy when he said that. You know what, let's send Fleet Group Scorpia. They're fighter heavy. We'll send them to deal with this. But yeah, I've been watching. I've been watching the series, but in between, I've been watching these panels and stuff. Just waiting for that panel where they're like, you know what, we're gonna do it again, even though they're all 20 years older now. And I'm not gonna lie to myself and say that they're gonna get back together, but every one of them talks about it, and that's something. I mean, almost said that it's the best thing that he's ever done. Yes, like, he did Miami Vice, he did Blade Runner, and he said those were awesome. But the Battlestar was the best thing that he's ever done. His words, not mine. And I say that also knowing that, like, the story,
Detected
the
a Cylon
lore,
strike fleet, sir.
the lore to Battlestar is a little bit convoluted. Sometimes it's hard for me to wrap my head around it. Not even sure that I got it on my first watch. I didn't necessarily understand what the final five were. There's so many intricacies to it, but at the same time, I say that I didn't appreciate that on my first watch. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. I knew enough to keep me entertained. I don't mind their political views because they don't try to shove them down my throat. Yeah, so true. That's very true. Yeah, I mean, I think how that got started is in one of the panels they asked Mary McDonnell, like, do you disagree with some of President Rosalind's decisions? She says, of course. She said, how could you not? And she said, President Rosalind banned abortion. But she was like, but she had a reason for doing that when you're counting people because they're precious. But apparently that's not necessarily in her political wheelhouse. But and obviously that wasn't the only thing that she was like, that does separate me from President Rosalind. But like any actor, they all seem to appreciate their characters and sympathize with them. Even Gaius Baltar, I forget the actor, James something. From his perspective, he's like, I thought Baltar was a good guy. Which I get. As an actor, you've got to appreciate your role. Otherwise, you're kind of doing a disservice to playing that role. But it's funny in that case that that actors, they go so far to put themselves in the shoes of the role they're playing that they would take somebody that's just does some dastardly things and they're like, it's not that bad. I mean, really? So this fleet just moves in a stack, which is, I mean, it's a good fleet composition, to be honest. One on top of the other, but you can't typically do that with all 7 ships in the fleet. Just too little space. Which is weird, because honestly, there's so much space, right? But like in this case, I kind of have some ships trail, and then they'll work their way into the stack as best as possible. I think, for instance, I want this other frigate to be at the bottom of the stack. And I'm setting them up on the port side here. Port side. I'm setting them up here as far left as possible. To create space, knowing that this is a fighter-heavy fleet. We do not necessarily need a Raptor. But I will send an Assault Raptor. They have ordnance they can fire. Is everything else fighters? That's fine. I'll try it. It's different. I mean, I designed the fleet to be fighter-heavy, so... It almost makes me want to, you know what? Screw it. Let's just make this a fighter, then. I think my idea there was Scorpia has, it's where there's the Scorpion shipyards. But that's where I unlocked the Viper Mark II, so I thought, well, their fleet should rely heavily on those. It's commanded by Colonel Harrison. Good luck, Colonel. New Dratus contact on scanner.
In 3, 2, 1.
Set condition 1 throughout the ship. Hey Tar, how you doing? I know how you're doing. It's mad, but I ask anyways. In the hopes.
Confirms SDU forces. Green light to engage.
Oh, these SDU forces. Yeah, I nearly forgot that's what we were fighting. Hell, we're not fighting any Cylons tonight. That's funny.
Yes, sir.
She's like, yes, sir, it is funny. Well, then laugh, lady. Let's go ahead and launch Vipers.
Launching
all
alert
ships.
Vipers. Yes, sir.
Let's be quick about this. Wrap this up and head home. Don't hit that ship. Holy shit. I guess it would have told me there was a collision warning. I feel like the game didn't used to do that. It just let them collide. And if you lost 2 ships that way, that was on you. I don't know which I prefer, to be honest. But I suppose the technology would exist to say, no, you're about to collide. Hell, we've got it in our cars. So, I guess... will we deploy plating? Yeah, to the flagship.
Launching drones.
Just because Commander Harrison is selfish and she doesn't want to die. Let's put all these fighter squadrons into Red Squadron. We'll change that when they get close to their targets. These SDU forces there's just no way they have this many fighters. Nor will they know what to do with this many fighters. Go get them.
Squadron target is confirmed.
I'm fine. What? That's a step up from meh. that is a step up. I like it. I like it. Glad to hear it, my friend. Alright, they have launched Vipers. Let's turn 2 of these squadrons into what we'll call Blue Squadron, and have Blue Squadron double team this fighter squadron. The rest will remain on course to attack that nearest radar signature, scanner signature, Traitist signature. Let's go with that. See, yeah, they're trying to identify my ship so they can fire missiles.
Fighter
I don't know
squadron
if
is
they
taking
did
fire.
or not. They got relatively close. So here we have an Adamant, which is a frigate, and a Corvette. Well, I do believe the fighters could gang up on the Corvette. Let's do that. Knock it out. Let's have quote-unquote Blue Squadron. Well, no. Better than harassing. Let's identify more targets. We'll let loose heavy ordnance, guided ordnance on on their frigate. Condition 1.
Action stations.
Fire. And as for the flagship, same deal. Action stations. Fire.
Yes, Commander.
Let's see.
Hostile unit identified.
More Corvettes, that's great. It's great. Take out the big ship and then we can focus on these Corvettes. Identify that. They are actually having good effect on that Corvette there. That said, if they haven't identified our ships yet, they're about to, at which point they will open fire. It's making me want to... Let's get a third squadron going. We'll call this Yellow Squadron. And they will defend the fleet. Yeah, just defend a random ship there. And that's in the event they fire missiles. Maybe we can intercept them. They have not fired yet. They still don't have an ID on us. Their flagship is about to go down. This is just a mess for the SDU forces. They're harassing that Manticore. These, what is that, 3 of them? Harassing that Manticore. I'm afraid they will fire soon. But honestly, yeah, let's be conservative about it. We'll recall our fighters, not totally, but we will have them start worrying about the protection of the main fleet against incoming ordnance. I say that because these light carriers, maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. These light carriers, they have a hell of a lot of guns, and they have good range. With that in mind, I suppose I should set them all to condition 1. And they should get ready to fire. Because they will make short work of those Manticores. This,
action stations.
Hopefully is going to be a washout. Like, they're not going to...
Action stations.
I don't think they're going to do much, if any, damage to our fleet. Maybe I'll eat my words. I hope not, because I have bad breath. So I imagine my words would be stinky.
Yes, Commander.
She did not have to confirm that. You could have sat there silent. I tell you, my XO. You got X's and then you got your XO. It's similar. Now they ID'd us. There's the ordnance. It's not going to make it. There's no way they can make it through that many fighters. I don't know why I think that's so funny, but Traditionally, we would call them Gold Squadron, not Yellow. I think that's accurate because there's just something to be said about Yellow Squadron. That conjures up different thoughts.
Yes, Commander.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance here, and they're going to attempt to sail right into our broadsides. That's the enemy ship off to the right. He's in the best position. In fact, he's able to lay down fire and not take any at this point. Now he's going to get himself a few missiles, so I hope he enjoys that. But otherwise, he's the one smart one. But you can even tell by looking at his ship, it's fairly unscathed compared to, say, that one. It's in bad shape. Yeah. You guys can defend, please. So I wouldn't be shocked if these Manticores get off another salvo. It'll take them a second. Yeah, it'll take them 2 rounds. Do I start turning the fleet to starboard? And here's a little asteroid field. Our hulls are strong enough to fly through there, but their missiles stand a good chance of detonating. I don't think I need to take it that far, though. I'm not. Like, if it's a desperate situation, that's a good call, but any desperation is on their side of things, I believe. So here goes.
Berserk is taking damage.
Alright, this guy, he's kind of got the right idea.
Yes,
so we'll
sir.
turn hard starboard. Every able ship, any ship that's sustained damage, can kind of exclude themselves from this maneuver and continue to head straight. There we go. Perfect example. Hit thrusters. Just fly ahead. Support ship go with them.
Understood.
And start repairing that ship. Wait, are you not repairing that ship? Deploy plating. Yeah, there we go. And again, everybody else turn. Fix your guns on... Well, I don't even need to fix my guns, to be honest. You just need to turn and keep them on condition 1, and they'll do the rest, I think. Though, what the hell? We'll fix a few guns on them. Just kind of randomly picking some. Yeah, that'll do. That'll be more than enough, really. Get ready for it, Manticore. You asked for it. Yeah. It's painful.
All SDU marks are down. Mission complete.
Thank you, Agathon. That was quick. Suzette, you're probably not going to become a commander real soon. Nope, not today. She did not earn a promotion, despite the fact that she laid waste to that fleet. So I guess spamming them with fighters is not a bad call, so this fleet actually does have merit. That's a good deal. I hope he enjoys that. Something tells me he won't. Yeah. Hey, Theories, how are you? Yellow Squadron has marked their position. I see. Good to see you, Theories. Alright, let's look at what High Command would look at. The replay. Be right back with you after this. It'll be over in a second, I'm sure.
Action station. Set condition 1 throughout the ship.
You know our captains are saying, why are they still coming? Midnight. What a mess. And that's it. The SDU just threw that fleet away. Good to be seen by you. Well, I mean your name. Your avatar, too. Which I like, by the by. I know you have some command maintenance left, but if I don't talk to you before the end of the stream, I'll let you know when I'm freed up tomorrow so we can chat about videos. Sounds good, man. I look forward to that. Yeah, that was so damn quick. I've got about 15 minutes left. I don't think I can do another mission in 15 minutes. That is, I dare say, a little unusual for me to pretty much stomp the enemy, but... And what do we have here? I'll probably end up watching this briefing in you know, the next stream. But...
Commander, we have a new request from His Highness Prince Stefan.
Oh.
Kane has greenlit the operation, as a favor to the First Family, I guess.
Right.
One of Vergon's old data facilities has been contested by Cylon forces. They don't want their station back, but they do want an escort for their data exfil team. The facility has files that date back to the cold start of the Imperial Wars. Due to his clearance access, Prince Stefan will join us to oversee Vergon's part in the operation. Who knows? We might end up handling state secrets that even Kane doesn't know about.
Is Prince Stefan from Vergon? I thought he was from Leonis. I'm real confused about these politicians. I mean, they're all from the same ilk anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. Huh. Well, that sounds straightforward enough, but I don't think I'm gonna do it. Not tonight, anyways. I have 2 fleets that would be capable of performing that task, and within range, that would be Fleet Group Leonis, which is down a ship, so maybe not the fleet I would want to use. They were the more powerful of the 2 fleets, but Fleet Group Vergon makes sense. If Stefan is from Vergon, might as well send his fleet to do this. Wow. So they're a carrier fleet too. They could be all fighters. They, you know, I guess it's up to me. But they're a bunch of, other than the Battlestar and 1 frigate. Other than that, they're all light carriers. R.I.P. all hands on board those fallen. Yeah, you know, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, they were colonial. Yes, they were separatists. They were rebels, but we kind of hate to see that. And good on them, I guess, for charging into our broadside. It's like the charge of the Light Brigade, I guess, but it's tragic all around. Do another mission. Do it. They're all uniparty politicians. He's so bi-celestial. Who's that, Prince Stefan? He's so dreamy, too. Oh, do I do it? Okay, I'll do it. This will be Fleet Group Vergon. Let's take a look at them real quick. They're commanded by Commander Barstow. She went up through the ranks by being kind of a scout, so by nature of that, her fleet is a little faster. She's figured out how to get those ships to move faster. Like I said, she's dealing with a lot of squadrons. Again, it'll be up to me on what squadrons those will be. The last time it was all fighters, and that went okay. See, I gotta repair Fleet Group Scorpia. Okay, Vergon. Jump. This will have to be it, though. What can I say? I'm flattered that you'd encourage me to keep up this nonsense. Oh yeah, Stefan is so bi-celestial. I don't know why I missed the Stefan part. I would always make sure you have a Raptor squadron in case you end up with a boarding requirement. Yes, yes indeed. I might go with Assault Raptors. That's Fleet Group Tauron's thing, but there ain't no reason that this Fleet Group can't emulate that. So far, we've seen success with, like, Fleet Group Scorpia attacking with pure fighter power. And Fleet Group Tauron attacking with, honestly, no fighter cover and all Assault Raptors.
Strike Group has been detected.
They get away with that if the enemies only launch a squadron or two, because all of those Raptors ganging up on the squadrons can take them down. What is this? Fleet Group 92. It's 12%. Usually under 15%, I will auto-resolve it. And so I think I'm going to do that, but the closer that number gets to 15, the more concerned I am about losses, but here goes. This fleet sucks anyways. This is Caprica's fleet. Don't lose anything. Good. Alright. Broken Alliance number 6. Hera. Commander Barstow. We'll see. Oh, and actually be right back. I'm going to grab another beverage. Well, okay, what if... they sure are spread out. And yeah, it does look like... Well, no, I can't quite tell if I'll need Raptors or not. It doesn't say that I do, so I guess not. Make sure that these are Viper Mark IIs. The flagship of this fleet is the... What is it? Oh, the Thanatos. What if I give... Oh, it's got a Corvette, too. Okay, so this is not as... It's not as strictly fighter as I thought it was. I'm thinking, what if I give the Adamant's Raptors, Assault Raptors, so they're ready to hit capital ships. If I lose this, I'm still going to call it, I have to say, just because of time. But let's not talk of losing it. I think that'll be fine. I gave one of the Adamants a flight of Raptors to... No, let's give them Vipers. I don't know what I'm up against here. We're going to use guided ordnance, no torpedoes. If we were going to use torpedoes, it'd be on the... Geez, so they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 marks out there. Yeah, I will give the Manticore some torpedoes. It'll try to get close. It's the Valkyrie. Which, incidentally, Valkyrie is a class of Battlestar, too. A small one, but it's a Battlestar. We don't have it yet. Let's put these in some kind of formation off to the right. I guess. We'll do something like this. We'll keep the Battlestar low. A couple frigates flanking it on either side. And they'll get high. Yes, I said they'd get high. Strangely, we'll put the carriers in front of it. It doesn't seem like a great idea, but I'm doing it. Because I can't put them behind it since I haven't pushed so far back, and I'm too lazy to swap them. We can make adjustments in combat, I suppose. Finally, the supply ship can be sort of above the Battlestar, and the Valkyrie's fine. Actually, we'll just put the Valkyrie off on its own. In fact, we may charge the Valkyrie with identifying that Cylon element off to the right. I think that'll be their job. And that'll do it. Now we get to hear from Prince Stefan. This is exciting. He's so bi-celestial.
Prepare to jump in 3, 2, 1. Hostile marks present at the LZ. The Vergon tech team is on standby.
Commander, I must insist that no harm comes to my team. The data is not as important as their lives. I trust your judgment to pull back if resistance is overwhelming.
Good to hear someone putting human value above operational cost around here for once.
Kato, I didn't even know you were still with us. Gee, I had overlooked the tech team. Escort the Vergon exfil team to the facility. Well, they're almost there. Okay. So they'll go in. They're gonna need fighter support, like ASAP. The Valkyrie will fire up its thrusters and try to get to that enemy element as soon as possible as well. Launch everything throughout the fleet.
Launching Raptors.
Wait, no. Launch the Vipers too, please. Is that everything? I think so. That'll do.
Watch your intervals, people.
Okay, so far so good. Nobody's firing anything. The Cylons, sometimes they seem to be able to fire without getting an ID on you.
Yes, Commander.
This is a dangerous move, and I paid dearly for it the last time I tried to do reconnaissance with a Corvette, but we're gonna do it. Because he's got civilians right behind him, so he's kind of got to do this. Speaking of those civilians, let's get them a fighter escort. Please. Wait a minute. Let's have our Raptor Squadron, Assault Raptors. They'll form into what we'll call Green Squadron. I know there's a third one somewhere. There's a third squadron. Or at least I thought there was. Is there not? Or did I make a mistake here? That's what I get for rushing. Shit. Yeah, launch your Raptors already. Did you not receive that order? I guess you didn't. Well, with that in mind, let's begin. Either way, Green Squadron will start moving against that target. They will take one fighter escort. We don't have a lot of Vipers to spare. So we're leaving one squadron to protect the fleet, one squadron going to help the civilians. The other squadron will be protecting our Raptors as they approach. And then we'll have one Raptor squadron that's kind of tardy. But it is what it is. Just one of my least favorite statements, but I said it. Squadron UB-40. Just UB-40 is funny in its own right. UB-40 requesting permission to the Get High operation. Yes, UB-40. And while you're at it, could you steal other people's songs and butcher them? That would be great. Okay, we're taking fire. Whatever that was, it launched fighters.
Hostile unit identified.
Oh, that's not
Civilian
good.
ship is taking damage.
Our ship is no match for that. I'm thinking terrible thoughts. Not gonna lie. Yes, I'm thinking about ramming it. Because we sacrifice a Manticore, but we take down an Arachne. And you don't often get this chance. Someone talked me down. Someone tell me not to ram it. I'm having visions of my old friend Shell, who, when we play quote-unquote multiplayer, it's where people would join Discord and issue commands for their ship, he always tried to ram the enemy, which could drive people bonkers, but I miss the guy, damn it. I miss him. No, maybe don't ram him. Oh my. No, we might as well fire torpedoes. Get into offensive posture.
Action stations ready.
If this thing destroys us, though, and moves on unimpeded, I
Missiles
will
on their way.
regret not ramming. So we'll put the full brakes on, raise to avoid a collision. God, but if that thing already is, that's fighter squadron that's shooting the civilians. Take out that fighter squadron. We will dispatch our reserve squadron that's protecting the fleet. I hate to do this. But if we lose the civilians, we lose. I mean, that's mission over. Jeez. Would it be the best move to ram him? That would destroy him. He'd be done. Then the civilians would only face a threat from these guys. Perhaps today is a good day to die. Hit the nitrous. Valkyrie.
Yes, Commander.
Your sacrifice will not be in vain. I hereby order you... No, better yet, I just leave it to the discretion of the captain of the Valkyrie. Down to one Corvette. No, not yet. Here's the problem, Rob. I am really struggling with this decision. We've got a civilian ship. They are needed at this space station because they've got a tech group that I don't know the details. I just know my orders are to get them to that station. They're under attack already by raiders. We do have Vipers coming in, not just this squadron, but also I've dispatched the reserve squadron, so they're going to be a little longer, but they're coming in to deal with that too. Here's the thing. This Arachne class, it's a strong ship. It's going to have range on those civilians in a second. There's no way the civilians are going to pull up here and do their business. It makes it sound like they're trying to take a poop there, which they might do. I'm sure there's restroom facilities. But anyway. So I'm trying to debate whether or not the captain of the Valkyrie should go ahead and ram this. I'm confident it will destroy that ship. It'll just take it out of the scenario. And there's nothing else left on this flank that can harm the civilians. So it's like, what do I do? Do I throw away the Valkyrie in order to get rid of, honestly, a much more advanced and better ship? By all standards, a capital ship before they start bringing out base stars. A ship that's guns are definitely capable of destroying unarmored passenger liner is really what that is. Where's the collision coming from? Oh, yeah, our support ship. It's not a good way to support your ships. Don't collide with them. We might have that happening elsewhere, so let's not do that here. In the meantime, let's add more plating to one of the adamants. Tar says perhaps today is a good day to die. And I'm thinking the captain of the Valkyrie is thinking the same thing. That's it. Yeah, go for it. Alright, well, I'd like to think I was deliberating on behalf of the captain. And in that case, I kind of think of you guys as crew of this ship. Bridge crew, CIC crew, that are basically saying, yeah, that's about that. It's one of the only plays we got. Oh, this hurts, but we're doing it. Oh, yeah, that's right. We have another... My oversight, we've got this last Raptor squadron that also... Let's see, I'm sending them after that, but now it appears to me that this target is closer. So let's... Yeah, let's go after that target instead. Also, let's add that Raptor to Green Squadron. It's possible that the Arachne could take evasive maneuvers, but I kind of doubt it. I think it's fixated on that civilian ship. Here goes. This is a first for this campaign. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. He's turning. The son of a bitch is turning. Oh, no, 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 no. We're going to lose. The civilian ship is at half strength. She's turning her broadsides. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Climb. I don't know. I mean, there you have it. The Arachne did take. Who knew that Cylons are so keen on self-preservation? Okay, we're getting into a dogfight here, but that's not going to stop the raiders from firing at the civilians. I'm still not confident that we have this. Give the civilians a little bit of tunnel vision, or I should start calling them engineers. And you just keep on your target and go. Got incoming missiles, but we do not have... Oh, well, actually, the Raptor escort is going to try to shoot some down. They are unguided. This is unguided ordnance. And let me try to figure out who it's aiming at. I can't tell. One of these ships. Oh, I bet it's our support ship. They love to wipe out the support ship. But just in case, we'll have everybody that can speed up and change elevation. And then we won't have to worry as much about fighters shooting this stuff down. Okay, I'm still not confident the civilians will survive this. I'm half worried that this Raider fighter squadron is about to shoot them down. We'll see. I'll try to capture both this and that in the background. Here goes. Gulp. Pull up Prometheus. At least one of your ships will collide this turn. You sure? Because I want to make sure this is going to happen. You didn't say that last time, so I'm a little more confident. Come on, hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him.
Missiles incoming!
Hit him! Mother... The Arachne hit itself. Okay, so the civilians didn't take any damage in that particular turn.
Yes, Commander.
And if they can survive for one more turn, they'll be on station, and frankly, the crew of the Valkyrie might get a reprieve. This is tricky. Do we keep trying to ram them? It seems almost like it's just not in the cards anymore. I almost think no. Climb and put your guns on them. Valkyrie, you're still in this fight. What have we identified? We've identified a Nemesis-class Corvette. Let's introduce said Nemesis to the assault Raptors. At least two of them are going to fire. That third one's not quite in range yet. Enemy fighter squadron is engaging the Raptors. We'll have Our fighter squadron engage them. How about this? Okay, cool. So we can recall this fighter squadron back to the main fleet to defend it. Because we're sorely lacking a cap back there. Combat air patrol. Get the support ship to the right flank. Have them deploy plating to something else. Shit, maybe the Battlestar itself on its left.
Launching drones.
Nothing else can really happen. We should maybe start turning the fleet to starboard. That way we can get our guns fixed on this next unidentified target. Fuck, I'm losing my voice. Frack, I should say. We could fire missiles at the Arachne, seeing that it's not. Yeah, let's do that. Can you do that without hitting your own ship?
Yes, Commander.
No, I don't think it can. So climb and fire? Maybe you'll hit your own ship once, but... Oh, yeah, that's right. You're already firing at them. And so are you, and frankly, that was... No, we'll split our fire. Honestly, though, I take it back. All missiles should be on that Arachne. No takebacks. Too bad, too bad. Third time's a charm. Yeah, that's a good point. Keep trying to ram as long as they're evading, they're not attacking. And it would take them out. I'm not confident that would do it. Let's try to go through him. I love that he hit himself with his own missiles. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that's making me think that the Valkyrie deserves to survive. Third time's a charm, though. You're right. You're right. Okay, so I want to keep my eyes on the civilian, of course. Although I think he's... And the ramming. I'd like to check out what's happening with these assault raptors attacking that nemesis, but frankly, that's small fry I consider when compared to this. This might do it. I mean, it might. Then again, I thought the last two attempts would do it. Okay, it says we're going to collide. Look at the way he is trying to weasel out of that. Is this not the facility? Is this not where we need to be? What's going on here? I don't think I understand. I thought we're not supposed to fly through that, are we? No. No, I don't think we're supposed to fly through that. Torpedoes inbound. All we gotta do is speed up, change elevation. Huh, they're attacking the Battlestar with Raiders. Now, they're trying to shoot down the torpedoes. I don't think that's necessary. Go after the Raiders.
Squadron target is confirmed.
And that's going to be a huge problem. If he's in gun... Yes, he is in gun range of the civilians. He hasn't hit them yet, because he's using mighty big guns that aren't very accurate. Let's put as much fire on that Revenant as possible. We'll go into offensive posture.
All hands on deck!
With the light carriers. And just lay into them.
Action stations!
It's too bad our enemies are Cylons, because if there were humans aboard that Arachne, they'd be like, what the frack is this guy doing? I think they know by now what he's trying to do. Let's turn hard so we can get portside cannons on that. Can we fire ordnance? No, we must have already done that. And that's going to be true across the fleet. Shit, actually, we want to keep one of these fighter squadrons on defense. Well, you know what? Better yet, I mean, yeah, on defense, but defend that instead of the Battlestar. The Battlestar will just activate its flak on the port side. Friendly squadron active. We're in the... Yeah, it's not in the zone. And if a pilot flies in there, then he's got as big a death wish as the... Oh, I would say the Assault Raptors did the trick. Okay, let's pick another target for you guys. Hit that Revenant. It's getting too close to the civvies. I think that will do it. I hope something gives with the civilians. I should check on the Valkyrie. One more turn and the Valkyrie's got torpedoes again. So this time he actually will fly above them. It says we'll collide. I'm not worried about it. If we do, fine. If we don't, even better. Because we'll be able to hit him with... In fact, where has he taken the most damage? Is there a place on... Well, the front. So there's no guarantee we're going to hit him in the front, but... Okay. Yep, I understand that. Go for it.
Friendly unit is down.
What?
Berserk is taking damage.
I don't think I understand.
What the frack? There was no matching launch by the Cylons. The detonation came from inside the station.
My God, a nuclear explosion.
Sacrifices have been made. A greater good must prevail after today.
What? That was a nuke? Gee, I'm sure glad that the Valkyrie almost killed itself for those civilians. The missiles are finally reaching the Arachne. What the hell? So are we saying the Cylons didn't fire that? If they didn't, we're going to sure as shit blame them for it. Is this a false flag? Is this to get us to start using nukes? Because I do believe we have to start using nukes here soon. And I'm all about it, but... smacks of a false flag attack right there. Just to escalate. And I wouldn't put it past Stefan to do that. As you know, he is bi-celestial. Much love, Theories. Much love. Well, the Valkyrie, which has been trying to kill itself this whole time. The situation has changed. They,
Understood.
They just need to go ahead and... it's crazy to think that a Corvette could take down one of these capital ships. And granted, he's not doing it alone, because he does have the aid of these incoming missiles, but he's performing remarkably well. It's probably the whole Death Wish thing. They are attacking the supply ship. So you can break off. Those are heading toward the supply ship, so let's defend it with our fighters. You can keep attacking those raiders, because that's obviously important. And as for the Revenant, let's hit them with our Assault Raptors, and hopefully this does the trick. I might focus on that, although I'm curious about this fight, I don't think anything's going to change this turn. I'll keep it in the background, which will be hard to discern, but let's see what these do to that. Yeah. Maybe I can do something like that. There we go. Stefan is about as useful as Thune. Yeah. No shit. He's destroying our own stuff. I mean, I understand that he has an ulterior motive here. He wants to be able to use nukes, because in the old Leonis-Vergon War, from what I can glean, was a very nuke-heavy war, and he was not against that. He's already made that clear. He was like, oh, we had plenty of nukes back then. Kind of wish we did now. Like, well, shit, dude.
Manticore is taking damage.
Nice, nice.
This is indefensible. You intentionally nuked your own people for political gain.
They were privileged to choose their time and to know it had meaning. Pray that the rest of us get the opportunity to do the same. By tomorrow, Lucinda Kane will have the undivided attention of every delegate in the quorum. Each one will concede to her demands, and they will lift the nuclear prohibition. Colonial Fleet will no longer be toothless in its fight against the Cylon.
Stefan, has it occurred to you that the Cylons are learning about war from us? And that they too think that nukes are taboo because we've led them to think that with our treaties? That's my only issue. Is the Cylons are going to start using a hell of a lot of nukes too. They're going to be like, oh, no, I guess this is okay. This is how you fight wars. Alright, well, at any rate, the Ammonet is in really bad shape.
Brace for impact!
Batten down the hatches, begin repairs on their armory, and turn hard
System
starboard.
repairs underway.
They need to show their starboard side to the enemy
Yes, sir.
rather than their port side. The other ships can continue the way they are, I believe. Yeah. Yeah. Great job with the Revenant. Our Assault Raptors are really badasses. But they need to recall, get back to your ships.
Understood.
And get more ordnance. Which means the fighter escort? Oh, where is he? Well, he's doing his own thing, and as he should. Kill the flak, because you probably have inbound Raptors. Or if not, the fighters are awful close. Our support ship seems to be in decent shape. Let's take a look at the Valkyrie. Well, they're not doing terrible. What about their opponent? Their opponent is not diminished yet. I guess they keep doing what they're doing, although I don't think it's one of those things where if you take what's going on and you just extend it over time, it's not. It doesn't look good for the Corvette. The Arachne is a much stronger ship, as I've already expressed. That in mind, I gotta say that she doesn't have any more rear armor. So it's like every hit we do after this is... Oh, this fighter squadron, you get back to the main fleet and help defend it. There's a lot of shit being fired at it. Actually, get to that wounded ship and defend it. If I can fire another salvo at the Arachne, great. I don't think I can yet. Yes, I can. It's just going to take a while to get there is the only issue. There's another Arachne. Great, great, great. It's going to come down to a situation where the battle stars just got to break off and engage the enemy, I think. In the meantime, they should fire at that. I mean, honestly, we should show deference to the Valkyrie after what it attempted to do. You know what? We might have this squadron. That's the squadron of assault raptors. They're heading back to the fleet to land, but I'm going to distract them with an order to defend our support ship, with the hopes that maybe they'll shoot down these cluster bombs. That doesn't sound fun. Of course, I see a fighter up there already trying to effect that, so
yes,
on
Commander.
Second thought, keep your recall, because we'd like to get you armed and out there again as soon as possible. I think that'll do it. Yeah, there's no missiles, no play there. Watch the debris. I don't think it can hurt us. I don't think it has a collision, but I also don't want to test it. Alright, what do I watch? What is in the most amount of peril? Honestly, I think the Aminet is. Let's see if it can make this turn without losing it.
Manticore is taking damage.
Oh, they're not making it easy, are they?
Berserk is taking damage.
It's okay, that's okay. That Berserk needs to fire up its thrusters and get moving.
So say we all.
Meanwhile, we got a lot more ordnance coming in. Our fighters are really trying to stay on top of it, but obviously they're letting some slip through, as we just saw. What's happening here? This ship is in horrible shape. The Valkyrie has about had it. Now's about the time they wish that they had successfully rammed them. But they didn't. It's too little too late, but we're going to go into defensive posture, wait until they have torpedoes, and fire them if we get the chance. If anything, they need to repair their navigation first. No, they needed to repair their engineering. Sucks. I wish they had rammed them. I really do. All this ordnance inbound. Battlestar, fix your guns on that nemesis. Take him out. And who's defending the, let's see, there's a fighter squadron. Attack torpedo, he says. I see. Way over there. No, don't worry about that. Just defend the wounded ship. I know that's already your order, but let's recalibrate figure that stuff out.
Yes, sir.
Putting a lot of fire on this Nemesis in the hopes that we can just take it out. In the meantime, fire another salvo of missiles at him. At the Arachnid, that is. Keep this guy flying in formation, fire missiles at the Arachnid. Okay. Now I'm confident we're about to lose the ship.
Manticore is taking damage.
Yep, there it is. There went the Valkyrie. I would like to say that the Valkyrie saved the civilians, though, but that didn't happen. They tried in good faith. Port side, flak. I don't care about the friendly squadrons. Fire that flak. We got 2 ships that are really on the edge. Okay, we got 1 ship that's really on the edge. The other one just got destroyed. But so we'll keep him running from the combat. The Ammonette. I'm guessing this assault raptor belongs to the Ammonette. So we'll get him back aboard. Okay, we're getting there. We are making some progress. We still have 2 unidentified marks. We still have an enemy Arachne. We still have a capital ship out there. Well, actually, we still got this one up here, too. But he does have some salvos of missiles coming in at him. And I'm hoping that that does the trick. I don't know. Yeah, I guess we should fix all our turrets on them at this point. I'm guessing that Nemesis we were all fixed on was just taken out. Yeah, it was. Why do we have 2 fighter squadrons harassing an enemy ship? Don't do that. Better yet, protect our ships would be great, and you can identify another ship. Identify that. And let's just hope it's not another capital ship. What about you? You're defending the Celestra? Scratch that. Defend the Ammonette. And there we go, I think. Let's see. Nice, nice. Hell yeah.
IFS
That's what we
unit
needed.
is hostile.
Oh dear. Brace for impact. Because there's nothing going to save that supply ship from getting hit here. The best I think they can do is try to kind of space out the damage. So if we fly right into it, the missiles that miss, that don't hit us on top, will probably like have to spin around the ship and hit it on various sides. It sounds strange, but I know what I'm trying to express. I just can't articulate it properly. But I do believe sailing into them is probably going to spread out their attack, as opposed to them all landing on top or on our left or whatever. Man, honestly, I gotta mute for a second. So stand by if you... apologies. There we go. Apologies. I just had to cough like crazy. Okay. Let's see. Got flak going and fighter squadrons right in amidst it. The support ship is about to take a hit, but we've already dealt with that to the best of our capabilities. That Arachne is destroyed. We will turn the the bulk of the fleet just a little bit. I think. Let me take a look. Oh yeah, they're probably way out of range, so we'll turn a lot. They need to get back into the contested area, anyways. Same with you. Actually, this is great because it's left. Okay, so that's what we have back here. It's a support ship for the Cylons. It has 0 guns on it. So let's have our fighter squadrons come back and defend our main ships. We'll not. Actually, forgot I did not see this guy.
Yes,
Figure
sir.
out what that is next. We can ignore the support ship for now. Yes, it can heal nearby ships, but in terms of nearby, that's going to be the Nemesis. The others are racing too far ahead. I don't think it can support the Arachne. As to the Arachne, we're going to turn the Battlestar against it. Fire missiles, fire guns. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. I sent it into replay for some reason. Yeah, there we go. So we got missiles, we just need guns on that. We're at condition 1, that's good. Turn a little more because, honestly, the Arachne is going to keep moving forward. We'll dive a little bit, but this will also give us a decent arc of fire against whatever that is. And, of course, we've canceled flak on that. We will send the Zagros, an adamant frigate, against that Nemesis. He cannot fire missiles this round. I don't think anybody can, but it's worth checking. Just the carrier. How about our Raptor squadrons? Let's get those launched again, get them back into the fight.
Yes, Commander.
And that should suffice. What am I worried about? I guess him. No, it was our supply ship. Let's see what happens with this. I'll keep the other fighting in the background. And here goes. No, that was all on top. That was all on top. That did not work the way I'd envisioned it. But the good news is our support ship survived it. In fact, the ship's integrity is still there. Just taking some plating damage. At this point, we've got Battlestar versus Arachne. I'm going to say the Battlestar is going to win that. We got an Adamant versus Corvette, so that should not be a big deal. Especially if the Corvette misses all of its missiles, or torpedoes, that's great. Didn't even notice that he fired them. We should line up the rest of the fleet to also contribute to a broadside against that. Because I truly think
so say we
the
all.
Battlestar will be fine against that target. Against the Arachne. So the rest of these can all be focused on the Nemesis. And that we should be able to make short work of it. So far, we've only lost a Valkyrie, and considering that we made a calculated decision to get rid of the Valkyrie. While I mourned their loss, that was absolutely expected. I think we are good. I think that'll do it. Oh, no, one more thing. The Assault Raptors begin a mission against the unidentified target.
Is confirmed.
Thank you. What to have an eye on? Oh, Battlestar versus Arachne, please. The Thanatos versus the Shitcockery. Yeah, that's not good for your ship. Whoa. That is not a small ship. That's another Arachne. Assault Raptors are inbound, though. Battlestar is really making short work of them. I wonder if they're considered cruiser class or if they're more like frigates. This is the Arachne I'm wondering about. I don't know. Okay, Red October. I always wanted to see Minnesota, or was it Montana? I don't remember where the guy wanted to go. He didn't get there, and that I remember. Okay, let's see. You can fire missiles, then do it. And start turning.
Yes, Commander.
Keep your port guns on them. Let's get into a condition 1. I don't know why you weren't on that already. He can fire missiles too. Do it. Can the Battlestar? No, not yet. How about our... Nope. He got destroyed. And the Immunit is out of there. So you guys don't need to defend him anymore, I don't think. Pick a target and attack. If they fired him, that's their problem. It'll take too damn long. There goes one of their Arachnes. There goes their nemesis. This is it. We've got it. We've got it, and Stefan has his nukes. Let's go ahead and fire ordnance from the Assault Raptors on this remaining Arachne. Get all fighter patrols on the Arachne. And we'll fire missiles at it if we can, and we can, so
missiles on their way.
He might be out of range of the Battlestar's guns, but we'll try anyways. And this frigate will open up on their support ship. And that should not be a long contest, maybe a round or two. These three are pretty much out of the fight. However, that fighter squadron can go ahead and contribute to the assault on their remaining Arachne. Check him, make sure he's not going to collide with something. He's good. All's good. Yeah, this Arachne is not long for this universe. I don't want to say world. Well, that world. He's not long for it. Yeah, he'll be dead this turn. So, we move the Assault Raptors against the support ship. We'll just leave it to the Thanatos' missiles to finish up this Arachne, hopefully. Bye-bye. Well, scratch all the other business.
Recalling squadron.
All fighters and raptors
Yes,
can
Commander.
call. Let's bring it in.
Yes, sir.
Huh. Well, good for you, Cylons. That's more of a... got more constitution than I gave you credit for, but it's over right now. Montana. It was Montana, huh? Poor guy. That's all I wanted to see.
Do you realize what you've done? Not just to the people you've killed, but to all of us. Just because you wanted the bigger bomb.
Young man, I have witnessed soldiers left behind on the battlefields of Erelon, only to drag themselves home by the stumps of their fingers. Widows and orphans whom, after unspeakable acts of cruelty, still piece together a semblance of their old lives. The Cylons will never allow us the privilege of such second chances. Their rebellion must be quashed beyond all reasonable doubt, lest they do the same to us.
That's me clapping for Stefan. I mean, false flagged aside, and I don't know why he would admit it to us. But I'm sure we're gonna classify that immediately. I do kind of want to use nukes on the Cylons. I know they're gonna use them against us now, but... Anyway, here's the replay. Let's go through what we just went through in a more cinematic fashion.
Watch your intervals, people.
Is that the last one? No, one more round. Their support ship.
Prepare base for cats. They'll be marked when I'm.
And that's it. Yumi did not get a promotion. It doesn't matter. She'll be a commander for a long time. Oh, you know what? Oh well. I was almost thinking I wanted to look at that cinematic again, except for take control of the camera and focus directly on the Valkyrie versus that whatever it is, arachnid. That's not right, arachne. But oh well. That was one of those battles where I really could have watched a cinematic of it from different vantage points. And that is one another nice thing in my mind about this game is you can really set the camera wherever you want for those replays, and from that you can cut together some pretty good footage. I don't know that the default footage is always very compelling. In fact, I find that it rarely is. But it's something to watch while I decompress from the last battle. They have not put up any more story missions. That'll be a few rounds, and I'll, of course, in the coming days, do those rounds off camera. Tomorrow night should be Sea of Thieves, which means the following night I may be back to this. As I said earlier, I know this isn't an exceedingly popular game in my repertoire, but I love it, so it's one of those deals where even if nobody was watching, I'd still be streaming it. That said, I do appreciate everybody that takes the time to watch or took the time to watch, especially tonight in this instance. But yeah, I am losing my voice here, and I'd like to keep that. So, I will call it an evening. Thank you so much for stopping by. Tar, Rob, Theories, Theorist. I say it both ways, what can I say? Sandy Boy, thank you for stopping by. Samuel, Plasman, and of course Grayson. And anybody that lurked out there, I really do appreciate you. Next time we'll get down with some more missions. And we'll work our way through these. Ultimately, I've never made it past this first campaign, so once I get past it, there's other stuff to tackle. There's all sorts of stuff in this game that I look forward to getting to. Well, I said enough. If you like this, and if you are subscribed, I will try to ram my manticore into an arachne on your behalf. Sounds dirty, doesn't it? Sounds filthy, sexually dirty. I don't mean it that way, or maybe I do. Hey, Seffi, I still lurk. Hey, good. I'm a lurker myself, so I appreciate you. All right, folks. Be well. Talk to you again real soon. Good night.